Good morning. Good morning.
Rack height 0, then you make up a rack height, make them change it on their clock. If they didn't do the
Good
paperwork, right?
Good morning. Christina Chamley here, joining you on the second day of the IPF World Powerlifting Championships. This is our Open Championships, and we're just in time for a start. We've got the first session for you this morning, which is the under 57 kilogram class of ladies. And the clock has started. And our first lifter is coming out for us, Patel from India. There seems a little rearrangement of the... She's concerned about her rack height. So, just to inform you what's happening there. Lifters nominate the rack height. There's numbers on the side of the rack to tell the spotter loaders exactly what height. And there was just a little confusion there that it wasn't the right height, obviously, for the height of that lifter. As she finds her spot, 120 kilos on the bar as she comes up. For that, let's see how she goes. Oh, great lift. And that's a really good result for her after somewhat of a hurried start. So wonderful that she's on the board. As I said, Christina Chamley commentating you through this session this morning. I will be joined by a guest a little later on. I'm going to try and bring you a few interesting guests to have a chat to us while we run some commentary on the lifting for you. So under 57 kilo ladies this morning. Yesterday we had the under 47s and the under 52 ladies. As we've got Fujigami here from Japan, part of a very big Japanese team, competing here at the Open Championships. Open Championships mean that the lifters are entitled to use any and all of the sanctioned apparel in the IPF. They can use that approved apparel, or they can not. They can use what we call the raw apparel, or any combination thereof. It's open. As Fujigami takes 140 for her opener. Lovely depth, very strong lady. That was a nice squat. See how the refs saw it. 3 white lights. The referees have a much better view than I've got, so my call will be just my thoughts from where I am, but certainly the referees, we've got 3 referees there. There's 2 on the sides that are watching for the depth call and other things, and a centre ref. As we've got Chen Yu Chao from Chinese Taipei, also taking 140 for her opener. Drops it in, very strong up. So great to see some really safe openers here so far, so the ladies can get those nerves out of the system and get underway and just get in the groove of what they're doing. Be prepared to fight for the second and third lift. Here's Eva Buxabom from Denmark, 47 years of age. You may be able to see on the screen there. And a very experienced competitor, Eva from Denmark. Ooh, very tight suit she's got on there. And she's taking 155 for her opener. Just give you a little bit of information about this weight class. You're going to see all ages, juniors, seniors and masters, all the way through, all competing openly together. Finds the spot, drives it up. We heard her coach then calling her down. So it should be depth because the coach called it. and he found the exact spot for her and called her up. So he says down, 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 up. And then it's her job to fight up. Some lifters go by that auditory cue from their coach about where the depth is, just to be absolutely certain. Of course, the lifter knows or feels they know the feel of where that spot is, but sometimes on your opener or even every squat, you might just want that double check, that certainty from your coach calling you to where it is. There is sometimes that issue that the lifter feels they've hit depth and they're not really there. So here's Terada from Japan, 155 for her as well. Her coach did exactly the same, and she gives us a smile as she comes up. Absolutely beautiful. So some lifters like that auditory cue for the depth. Some like to feel it within their body where a particular feeling happens, that they're down to the right depth. And some like all of those cues so that they know exactly that they've got to the depth that's required in the IPF, which of course is that the hip crease goes below the knee. That means you've broken parallel. Your thigh has gone below parallel. To the best of our ability with our eye to see, did the lifter move in that way. Waldman from Netherlands, 160. I'm sure you'll agree these are great squat openers for anybody. Finds it, pushes up. Lovely control there. And you see the lifters walk off a little stiffly. It's because of the suit is very, very tight, and also those knee wraps around the knee. It's a little bit hard to bend your knee in a natural fashion when you're just walking along with tight knee wraps on. Here's Irani Barbosa from Brazil. Her PB squat is 185, so she's got 167.5. That will be well within her. She should feel very confident. This is to get her confidence up. She will have squatted this many, many times, and she knows the feel of this weight, so she's just getting in the groove for the lights and the situation here with this lift, and she doesn't have to push herself too hard on the first lift and just get comfortable with the situation. So I have every confidence that Irani there, what a beautiful squatter she is. We've seen Irani on the international scene for a little while now, and her lifting continues to improve. Beautiful technique there. There's really nothing can go wrong with the way she sets herself for the squat there, unless of course it's too heavy. Her technique certainly looks like it's sustainable, and it's not going to cause her too many difficulties. Blumenfeld from Norway gives us a shout as she comes out. The Norwegians are known for their expressiveness, and that's just so accepted in powerlifting competitions, is your own personality and your expression and what you need to do to get that lift. Here we go, 185. Oh yes, she's having to work on that a little. She's to full lockout there. Okay, fantastic. 3 white lights, and I just got a feeling she's going to look even smoother perhaps on the second and third squats. I think perhaps that's not the best look that we're going to see from her, but that's just a feeling just looking at her. Perhaps the second squat will be even more smooth. Mikkelsen, Hilde. I see that she's obviously coached by the great Dietmar Wolf. You heard Ralph Farquharson saying yesterday that he is the best IPF coach in the world. Him and Ralph Farquharson run the coaching clinic, teaching coaches. Here's Hilde from Norway, 187.5. Oh, yeah. Lovely, powerful body shape for Hilde. And certainly you see all the power. She just flares the elbows back just to get that chest up. And she gives us a smile. Can you imagine what it's like to squat that much weight and have just a really relaxed smile at the top? That wasn't that stressful for her. Another Indian competitor for us. Actually, it's our opening lady. You'll see two flights of this session because we've got over 14, 15 lifters. So there's more than that. So the class is then split into two flights, meaning half the group will squat first and then the other half of the group will squat next. So Nidhi Singh Patel. She's jumping 10 kilos to 130. Clock's on 30 seconds. It is possible, I can't see any movement there. It's possible she may not come out for it. I'm not entirely certain what's happening, but just reading the body posture of people on the platform. She is going to come out. 14 seconds. So it's difficult when a lifter's got, around that 10 seconds to start. She's got to wait to get the start command. She's got 1 second and she's missed it. Unfortunately, the centre ref was just about to say squat and the time ran out. Now, that's a little bit of a pity. She was rushed for her first squat, so just a little bit of work there to be done backstage on getting ready, getting in position out there to come in when it's your lift. Now, I'm pleased to say I'm joined in commentary by Adam Palmer.
How's it going, everybody?
Hi, Adam. What have you been doing?
I've been working on photos for the last million years, it seems like now.
You mean yesterday?
I guess I gotta step away from the mic.
Yesterday and today? That's good. You mean yesterday and today?
Yeah, yesterday and today. Yeah.
Chen Yu Chow from Chinese Taipei. I'm going to check in with you and see what you've been up to at this championship. We'll just see 145 here from Chow.
That looks really good.
Doesn't it?
Really smooth coming up.
3 wide. Adam Palmer, as many of you know, is the owner of 9 for 9 Media. Does a lot of photography for people.
Yeah.
In the
Just
States. Tell us about 9 from 9.
Next lifter from Japan.
So it started out as I've been working with reactor training systems and Mike Tushir for the last 2 years or so. And he brought me on as his editor, and we needed photos for articles. And so in 2014, I shot the 2014 Raw Nationals for the first time. I mean, I had like no equipment, no money, nothing. I just started shooting photos, and
Bars loaded. Come on, Japan, let me hear you.
Eventually, it turned into I'm investing 20 grand in equipment, and here we are.
Here we are. Hiro Fujigami, sorry, got a little tongue tied there. Fujigami. 150 for her. Let's have a look at her squat.
Nice tight setup. She's got a very low bar position there. Really low.
Really? Look at a bar back in the hands there.
Oh, that looked really awesome.
Actually,
Let's see what the judges say on depth.
It's actually an incredibly efficient setup she's got there.
That was a really awesome squat.
Lift is good.
That's really solid.
As Adam observed there, the bar is so low on her back. She's getting absolutely the most out of her body in terms of using her strength to get back up again.
Yep, and then if you look at the side from the side, you can tell that her bar path is like straight up and down. So it's really, really, really efficient.
Eva now from Denmark. Eva came out, okay, she's put 5 kilos on her opener. And she looks to have a very, very tight squat suit on the way she's moving out to the bar.
Yep, and her wraps are tight. Oh yeah,
She's getting a lot of pop out of her equipment because she's prepared to go through the discomfort of using it that way.
Yep. Can't see.
Gets called down.
So that is the drawback of a tight suit like that. It looks like she's having a little bit of trouble hitting depth, but we'll see what the judges say.
Eva, Denmark. 3 white lights.
And she has trouble getting out from under the bar.
Yeah, Denmark.
Yeah. It's oppressive.
It takes a lot of courage and a lot of experience to use a suit that tight.
Yep.
Because that weight is very heavy for her, and she's relying on that suit a lot to do its job.
Bar is loaded.
And to me, the way she ascends looks like she needs every bit of help from the suit.
Yep, absolutely.
So she's a technician of equipped lifting, and great respect for her ability to not only work the equipment but to have the courage to put that much weight on her when she knows the equipment's doing a percentage of it. Let's not underestimate what that much weight sort of feels like.
It's training in equipment is crazy. Like, we got a squat going on here.
Terada, Japan.
And there's another one. She's got a very tight suit as well.
Oh, yes.
But that looked very good, I think.
Yeah,
it's oppressive. You put on the equipment for the first time ever, and you experience the suit bite is what I'm calling it.
Yeah, it is.
And you walk away with almost welts on the hips a little bit from a squat suit. But it's so fun because you're walking out with super max weights. And you're wiped from training. Like you do 5 lifts and you're just wiped out completely.
we love that.
Yes, I love it. It's awesome. I'm hooked on it.
Some people listening to us might wonder why we would do that. And it's because that very thing that Adam just said feels good to us.
Yeah.
Sandra Wildman from Netherlands now.
High bar.
Yeah. By contrast. Oh.
Looked good.
She had to dig deep there.
For a second, I think maybe another 7 kilos.
Okay. Let's have a look.
Let's see what she declares. I'm curious.
Lovely knee position as she comes down. Pops the hips down and then has to flare back the elbows a bit.
Maybe
5.
Maybe 5 kilos. Curious to see what she declares.
Yeah.
Irani
now, Barbosa. So 9 from 9 really grew out of necessity to have your own photos that you could work with for your own work.
Yeah, and then at some point, I think people started sending me emails about, hey, can I get some of those photos? And I'm
How did they see them in the first place? Oh, they were on the articles?
They were on articles.
Yeah, or Facebook or whatever.
I actually, you know what? The first time I really made any money off of it was when I went to the U.S. Summer Showdown in Atlanta. And got Brazilian lifter here.
$177.5.
That's a big squat for a
little lady.
That looks solid.
Irani. Viva Brazil, Irani.
3 whites. Yeah, I shot. Josh, shout out to Josh Rohr for running that.
All right, Kai
It was in this
Blumenfeld.
summer of 2015.
Bars loaded.
I shot the. I just showed up. I actually competed in bench, raw bench in that meet. And, did terribly, but I did get some great photos, and that was kind of the first meet that I shot that I people wanted to buy the photos, and I was like I think the shout out to Mike Hedleski. He's a really good patron of mine. He his mother bought like $200 of photos, and I was just like, wow, I can actually do this and break even maybe. So from that, I think I put out a call to get see what interest there would be at Raw Nationals in Scranton.
Blumenfeld here, 190. Oh, hits it fast, a little too fast.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
she's
right,
not
give her a
happy
big
that
round of applause.
the center ref called that
Come on,
rack.
Norway.
She gave the center ref a look there. I wonder if they're going to approach the jury.
No, all three reds. There's no contesting.
There's no
that.
contesting that. I just saw.
172.5 kilos.
It wasn't coming up. I'm looking at it. It wasn't coming up.
She'll have a look at that again and realise, no, that needed racked because she was so low. It's dangerous to delay that call. And she wasn't coming up.
She dropped like something was wrong.
Yeah.
It looked.
She dropped way too fast.
I've seen lifters do that, and some of them can get that pop out of it and make it happen, but that didn't look like it was coming
that
up.
strategy didn't work if that was the deliberate strategy. But he's held it.
Norway.
We got some color issues on the on the front, the bottom cam.
Ah, dear. Hildy's doing a good job to hang on to that.
High bar squatter.
192.5. There she goes. Oh, lovely and
Oh.
deep. Oh, can she pull it up? Oh, she can't.
Oh man.
Oh,
Let's give
no.
her a big round of applause.
She nearly got under that.
She'll come back for that. It's possible she could get it on her third, but that was such a grind. I don't think there's anything left.
For me, the problem is I think she's used a lot of her back up doing that.
Yes.
As a lot of strain went through her back just then because she wasn't quite, she didn't have enough power underneath
Right.
her, and she was trying to stand up with her back, and there was no glutes, no hips for her.
Yeah, she may be finishing with 187.
Yeah.
Bars loaded. Nihil Singh Patel, 130 kilos, second attempt.
So
relay.
here's our Indian lifter, Patel. Have they given that to her again? She came out late, and it's not showing that she missed the lift. So
She may have contested it and gotten a relift. I don't know what the story is on that.
she may have. So I've got a little bit of conflicting information. I think it's 130 on the bar, but is it the second or the third squat? Oh, just fails to come up. Not enough strength there, and
Lower, top of the order, third attempt.
that was her third attempt. So the scorecard has just updated itself. That was her third attempt, and it was no lift. So fortunately, she got that 120 in, and Adam, she was really rushed to get to the platform for that. So this young lady has done a really good job to pull that back together again and actually have a squat on the board.
So, India's been competing at these championships for how long now?
We haven't seen them, I'm not sure historically, but we saw them last year, and so I don't think we've seen them for long. If they were in the international, as in they were in the federation,
India.
but they have not been competing at this competition all that
Right.
I've seen.
Right.
So maybe, I don't know if they had a team or not, or what the issue is, but they've made a lovely big re-entry onto the scene, and we absolutely love having them on board. And I'm just terribly pleased that that young lady, Patel, got a squat in.
Yeah. Well, it looks like she's going to come back for a
She's
third.
okay, so she's following herself. Really, this is quite difficult on her, and so there is a third. Can I talk to you again about carry on from our conversation then?
Yeah, absolutely. We got some time.
Yeah. So you started doing 9 for 9 and putting a bit of money into it and getting better cameras, etc. And it just kept growing, I guess.
Yeah, so 2015 Nationals was kind of the first big return. I probably covered about, like 8% of the meet, because at that time it was the largest in U.S. history. It was about 1,150 or 47 total entries, and we had probably 900 something athletes at the meet.
India.
And contrast that to this year, where we had over 1,100 athletes competing at the meet, and it's come a long way in a very short amount of time. The Arnold this year really was the one thing I think that solidified our presence in terms of just being visible to the community. That's when I met Gaston and started really talking about, hey, this could be a real thing.
All right. We got 2.5 minutes on the clock. We're going to take advantage of
super
the time
pleased with how well we've done.
And let everyone in the audience know that we have SVD.
I want to see it continue to grow and continue to help the sport. I think
support systems.
we've also.
They both have knee sleeves.
I think we've really seen in the last few years that media in general, whether that's photo or video or broadcast stuff, is really the thing that's going to help bring this to the masses. A lot of my inspiration for what we did came from a combination of working with the CrossFit community. And before I actually started, I had kind of gone the route of, I want to get into the CrossFit community and do media, and I had a few opportunities to work directly for the CrossFit media team. And I learned a lot about how they have, taken CrossFit from being a kind of a novelty, like interesting, a novelty, like really small community into multiple million followers. And it was the media that really did it for them. I think that same principle applies to powerlifting, and I think if we continue to professionalize what we're doing, that we'll eventually see that growth.
Okay, Patel comes out now for her third squat. She just took 3 minutes break that she was entitled to, and now have another go at her 130.
See if she gets this.
Oh, same result.
All right, give her a big round of applause.
Started coming up, so she's weak on the whole.
Yeah.
She seems like she's probably a very young lifter, but I would imagine that as she continues to train, she'll get stronger and come back to this championships and continue to progress.
It's just the extreme depth that's troubling her there, isn't it?
Yep.
She can squat that if she can squat it a bit higher.
Yeah.
And she needs to be stronger at a more starting point of where the muscle needs to work. Sure, the middle section and beyond is strong, but it's that first part of the muscle that needs to activate there, I guess.
I've been really, really impressed with these Chinese Taipei lifters.
Yeah.
They are just incredible. They're all technicians.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's superb.
That was awesome.
And that's a third squat. That's 150.
That looked like a second
is good, 2-1.
or an opener. It looked like an opener.
I've got no doubt she's working hard, but there's the testament to the technique. It stays consistent even when she's working extremely hard.
Yep.
There's a lot of discipline in that, and a lot of practice.
Yes.
She's done a lot of lifting. So now you've actually got employees.
They're not employees.
No, but
I contract out help for sure.
Okay.
But it's I still owe them that. I'm paying people to help me.
Yes.
It's gotten to that point.
Yep.
I can't do everything myself, and I have to find people that are able to be self-sufficient and are able to learn and understand the business side of it as well.
Yep.
From Japan.
Mhm.
Okay. Solid walkout. Really low bar position.
Oh.
That's going to be good. See what the judges say on depth. It's going to be close.
Yep.
One red in the center.
Lift is good.
But, I mean, she towed the line on that depth there.
Yeah.
It was, and that
Yeah,
last
she did.
little dip.
Yeah, that
this
got
little
it.
dip.
I was a little concerned at the top. I thought she was going to lose it right at the top.
Yeah, she's got a very narrow stance, and she's folding over quite a bit. So that's putting a lot of strain on her posterior chain.
Now, Eva muscles her way out.
Yep.
Very hard for her to walk in that suit. 165. So effectively just 10 kilos between her opener and her hoped for third attempt. So it's a very narrow range of...
Yeah, especially for squat.
Yeah.
I mean, you see people taking 12 to 15 kilo jumps, no problem, and more when it gets heavier.
Yep. She's got to keep everything super tight here because that is heavy for her. Oh!
She's going to get it. Yeah.
Oh,
there we
that's
go.
lovely.
I bet she gets that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely
3 whites.
lovely.
Awesome.
Now she can get out of that suit.
Yeah.
That is eating her.
Oh, it's actually like the most painful part is tearing the thing off because it bites into your leg.
And once you let go of that,
Yep.
it hurts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just know what she's going to look like underneath
It's going to
there.
be. She'll have some red lines around the legs there.
But these are our battle scars.
Yes.
You know, it tells us that
Yes.
we've worked hard.
Absolutely.
2 lifters left to make changes to your openers.
Sandra Wildman, Netherlands, for her third attempt.
So this was the lifter that we supposed would have 5 kilos, and she has opted for 5 kilos, it looks like.
Okay. So as you said,
She's got a high bar.
Very high, actually.
And it was a little bit of a grind on the ascent, so we'll see what happens.
She's going to have to nail this so that she can get into a good position with some momentum coming up.
There we go. Come on.
Everything.
Come on.
She's going to get that if she
She's
sticks
got
with it.
She's got it. There's not another kilo in her.
Not another kilo.
That was awesome.
Fantastic.
Yes. I hope somebody was shooting that.
All right,
Heinrich
the
got
jury
it.
has-
He's down there shooting.
The jury has overturned Fujigami's lift. Japan's lift has been overturned. It is a no lift.
Interesting.
Okay, so Gino's just announced in the hall here
Bars loaded.
that the
Here comes
jury overturned
Yuki
Fujigami's
Shihada,
third
Japan.
attempt, which got she was squatted 162.5, and then it got overturned. Now we're not being told the reason yet, and it'd be interesting if we can find out if there was something of a technical issue that the jury observed
380
that
pounds.
may be a technical disqualification for that lift.
So here's where you would want to go back and look at the replay from that specific lift and see what it was that they called. I'm thinking in my mind, if I could remember that lift, I would be able to say.
Karada, 172.
Really borderline on depth. We'll see.
Let's see how it goes.
She may get it.
Oh, she got it.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Oh, Japan.
That's open.
No more changes. Flight B, no more changes to your openers.
So Irani will be coming out next with 187.5. Really strong lady to come out.
Bars loaded.
We might get some news for you about that Fujigami overturn.
Yep.
Just back to you. Oh, here's Irani now. We might just stick with her because she gets set up fairly quickly and gets going. I'm pretty sure I saw her What age is she now? She's is she 30?
86. So yeah, 30.
Wow, she looks young. Doesn't she?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
way
good
deep.
squat. That's
Okay, she pulls up.
Oh yeah, that's coming up. Nice. Yeah, she's happy about that. That's going to be really good.
Wow. That was the deepest squat we've seen here,
That
I think.
looked really solid.
That weight pushed her down.
Yeah.
It was deeper than she has been going, and it worried me for a second.
All right, 2 lifters left.
Was it too
Both
much
from
for her?
Norway.
No
She
question.
went down, then just collapsed down a little bit.
Notice that left elbow. I wonder
Yeah.
if that touched her thigh there.
Yeah. The right one said it was her right elbow, wasn't it?
It was her left. Here we go. Getting fired up.
Blumenfeld. She's about to get under 190 again.
She failed this on a on strength, didn't she? I don't remember.
I'm just struggling to remember too.
Yes, that's
no
right.
good.
This was the one she was gonna. No, I remember what happened.
Yep.
She came down, and it
Yep.
looked like she thought they took it from her too soon. But this was definitely a strength issue here. She
loses compression at the bottom, and she just folds forward.
Yep.
So you see here, she's got nothing, and then she tips up.
Yep.
She
the
cannot
hips,
muscle that up from
her,
there.
Her quads are not strong enough to support that ascent.
Bars loaded. Bars loaded.
And she's pretty cranky about it, I can tell you.
Norway, 192.5.
She may have gotten that in training and,
Yeah,
and,
it looks that way.
and just having a bad day. Here we go. This was one that she fought for, I think.
She used a lot of back coming up.
That's right.
If you remember, she's got into a very vertical position quite early into the ascent and really couldn't. I thought she didn't use her quads enough to get up first.
Right.
So let's just see if she can get a better line on this.
She's going to get it. She's going to get it.
it.
Yeah, there we go. I did say she would come back and get that.
Yes, Norway.
And I hope somebody got that too.
I hope so. As Adam's sitting here watching from a photographer's point of view, hoping certain shots are being taken.
Yeah, there we go. That looked really good. Much better than the second attempt.
Okay, we're going to swing straight into the second flight now. And here's the lovely Ellie Steele to start us off in the second flight. So, mostly speaking, these ladies are the stronger half of this class. It doesn't always follow in every lift, but generally these ladies are going to total more than the first half that we've just seen.
So the first flight was lower nominations, basically.
Yep.
And this flight will be the higher nomination. This the higher half of the nominations.
Opening up with
Ellie Steele from
3
Great Britain.
times her body weight.
A very strong lady, very tough mentally and physically, but she has a heart that's as beautiful and pure and lovely as you can imagine. Lovely wide stance there. Sits it in, gets called up.
Okay, it looked like it was a little out of the groove coming up.
Ooh.
But she got it. I mean,
Ellie Steele.
I'll be interested to see what she declares for that.
I think that wasn't what she wanted to feel coming up.
Yeah.
I think she hung around a little long. Oh, gee, the left hip just caves down a bit.
Yeah, so she lost some ascent.
United
Yep.
States
And she
of
really,
America.
she's just reading her facial expression there. She's like, oh my goodness, what was that?
She might put another 5 keys on the bar there, or 2 even.
And that may just not happen the next time. It was just something
Yeah.
about the groove. And I wonder if she was just a little slow going down into that hole. I'm not sure, but sometimes if you hang around there too long, you lose it.
Right.
Don't you?
Yeah. I'm so new to the equipped side of the sport that I don't know a lot of these lifters, but I've seen Rowena lift, and she's very impressive.
Oh, we've seen Rowena on the international scene, and she's extremely impressive. Look how heavy that is. 175. She's
Jesus.
Look what did she move off the mark before
no.
they called it?
Yeah.
That's what the center ref
Yep.
saw. She leant forward just
Yep.
before she got the call. Just watch
She beat
this.
McMahon, but she destroyed that.
She beat the rack man, folks. She beat the rack
She killed
man.
that enough.
The problem was she leant forward and the weight took her, and it was actually very heavy for her to hold at the top. She wasn't quite stable at the top, and once it just slightly moved off that center line, it pushed her forward. And that's a pity, because the power coming up is under no dispute.
Yeah, she. Okay, yeah. Let's see if she puts more weight on the bar from that.
Montserrat, 185 from Ecuador.
She's competed raw.
Yep. Oh, down.
Wow.
What?
What was that?
What did we just see?
Ecuador lift is
Okay,
good.
so Rowena's going to retake 175,
Load the
despite
bar up
the ease
for
of how that was.
Ekdemar
But
Ruiz
that
from
185
Venezuela.
that we just saw from
Weechun
Monserrati
Liu
is
on deck.
really, really impressive.
And the
That
hard-counting
is-
That was
Sri
stunning.
from
The fact that she
India
pulled
is in the
herself
hole.
down so fast, she has the strength to pull that down, because that's a very tight suit. You can see how she walks off. Very tight suit, tight wraps. She's actually pushed herself down
Yep.
and then sprung right up.
That's the
courageous
mark.
lift.
That's the mark of a true equipment technician, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
that's
I
right.
think somebody who's able to do that is just, that's what this sport's all about in terms of equipment. This is the true Formula One
Yep.
of powerlifting for sure.
Come on, Ruiz.
It's a very high bar position for the Venezuelan here. Ruiz. Oh,
Yep.
was it deep enough? I just sort of missed
think
it a
she
bit.
got it. I think she got it.
Okay. Yep. Good. I just must have blinked right at that moment, and I thought, what just happened? Because she,
Please
by
load the
contrast,
bar
was not down
for
there very long.
Weechun.
No, she wasn't.
Watch it.
Chinese Taipei.
And it's
Don't
interesting,
bring-
you say she's not down there that long, but
Barcelona.
I think that's part of the strategy sometimes.
next.
You want to quick
Get out.
to get out of there, not just because the
around.
longer you hang around there, the more
They're
the judges
scrutinizing
are
the
going to look at the depth and look at the hip crease, and then have time to glance at the top of the knee and then say, look, you didn't get there.
Yeah. Yu Chung Woo.
Make it as ambiguous as possible, and
Yeah.
sometimes they will give you the benefit of the doubt.
This lovely lady is absolutely seasoned campaigner in the World's Championships. She is so strong. Can't wait to see her in the deadlift as well. Oh,
I think that looked great, honestly.
Chinese Taipei, lift is good.
Absolutely
That was a
wonderful.
really, really strong lift. So
Load the bar for her Tigers.
Ruiz jumps 10 keys.
Indonesia.
Monserrati jumps 12 and a half
205
appropriately.
Bars loaded.
Ellie Steele jumps 7.
Now here's Sri Hatati. She is 5 times world champion.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, gotta have respect for this lady right here. She is a very humble lady, an incredible champion. Probably hasn't got the media attention or the internet attention that she.
Well, so look at how tight these top 4 are.
Yep.
Like, this is anyone's game, from just looking at the squats anyway.
So Sri, 205 kilos.
Oh, man, she's really strong walking that out. A little bit of a grind about.
She's prepared to grind. She's a hard worker.
This is good.
Still a really solid lift.
Throw the bar for
My
Anna.
goodness, those wraps were tight.
Bar's loaded. Bar's loaded. Anna Weisskopf.
So her knees cave on the her left knee caved a little bit coming up, and so I think she's losing a little bit of power. And if she can force those knees out coming on the way up, she will crush the next, attempt selection.
Yep. Now, Sri, who we just saw, holds the total record for this weight class.
Oh wow, okay.
So that's the caliber of lifter she is. Here's the Russian,
Oh,
Ryzakova.
man, borderline on depth. We'll see.
And look, the Russians do
Yeah,
find that
just-
borderline.
yeah, very borderline.
There you go. So Adam called it. Let's have a look here.
Oh, it was.
All
It
right.
just looked very high from
Victoria.
where I was sitting, from where we're sitting.
You just get the sense she probably knew it too.
Yeah.
The way she came up at the end, you sort of thought she's thinking,
It's equipment's hard because you lose a lot of sensory, like where you have in raw. It's hard to know when you're hitting depth sometimes. It really is.
Victoria Kalasheva from Russia now for 207.5. So interestingly, we've got sort of just 5 kilos difference in the opening squats for these top 5 ladies. Let's see how doesn't that look impressive?
It looked good.
Much better squat.
Maybe high from the center, but 3 whites,
There we
solid.
go.
Okay. Yeah. I think if you are having struggling to hit depth, it can be tough depending on how tight your equipment is and how you wear it.
Last lifter with the first attempt. Vilma Vargas Ochoa.
So here's our top nomination.
So Vilma Vargas Ochoa from Ecuador. Been on the scene so many years. I can't tell you how many, but so many years. The top nominated weight that she put
Vamos,
in,
Vilma, vamos.
and 210 on the bar here. She's gone up into this weight class. She was in the 52s. Now that's why.
Really, really solid. Yeah.
Absolutely
She
beautiful
just
squat,
destroyed that.
This is good,
didn't she?
Vilma.
Let's have a look at it again.
All right.
That was awesome.
Lovely depth.
Please load the
So
bar from the
solid
top of
coming
the
up.
order.
There was no sideways movement. There was no weakness in the chain.
Yeah, that's what
That's-
you want to see, especially for an opener.
Alina
To see
Lopez.
the opening squat
Ellie
look like
Steele.
that, and she's at the lead
Yep.
And Montserrat,
with no
Kenya.
sign of weakness.
From
She's going to
Ecuador.
carry that
Bar's
away. That's my
loaded.
I
prediction.
would expect
with
to
the squat.
see her put between 12 and 15 on the
Sure.
bar from that.
Now, Rowena's coming back out.
She missed this weight on technicality, but it was really, 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 really fast coming up.
Now, some might say, why didn't they put more on? It's just your personal rule-based system of what your rule is about this. Many of the top coaches tell me never, ever, ever, not technicality, nothing. You put the same weight on again. You don't stress yourself by putting even 2.5 more. Here we go, Rowena.
That looked good.
Very strong. She stands solid at the top, leans it in, and she got the 3 wide.
No, she has an option here. She can probably take something in between what she had planned for her third and her second. So something she'll know she'll hit, but something that isn't going to put too much risk out. She's, everyone here, those kilos matter in the total, big time. And if she wants to fight for a podium position, then she's got to get as much on the bar as she can.
Yeah, so it's going to be a courageous move for her to jump right back up again. So we'll see what she does. Ellie Steele now, Great Britain, 180 kilos. She's put 7.5 on there. I reckon she'll feel pretty comfy with that from the respect that I know she's used to pushing herself with bigger jumps. So she maybe just did that to be safe from how that first one felt.
Yeah, the first one looked a little slow.
Yep. I bet she hits this a bit stronger.
Keep the knees out.
Oh, come on now, girl.
Yeah.
You know what? That was better.
It was better, but it was still slow for a second. Yeah, she doesn't believe, like, she's having a bad day, I think, and she's I'm not sure what's going on, but
I mean, we could be reading her wrong. She could be delighted, but
I don't know if that's her PR or not. What?
Yeah, I don't know either, but
she's having some issues. Like I said, she's having some issues with that right leg.
She doesn't look entirely comfortable, I think, is what we're saying. Even though we have no idea what that really does mean to her, her body doesn't look particularly comfortable.
Right, right.
We can imagine her looking a lot smoother than that. Montserrat.
She jumped 12 and a half, and I know 185 was really, really fast from her. So
it was mad fast, wasn't it?
It was the fastest opener, I think.
So the refs will remember this, and they're going to have to have a really quick look at her. Drops it.
A little more of a grind, but still fast. It looked like a solid second.
Wow.
So the side just one red on death. But it was good. Yeah, on the
Yep.
Yep. That's solid lift though.
Ruiz, Venezuela.
Venezuela.
She says her squat PB is 180. So this is 200. I mean, she opened above her PB and it was incredibly strong. 200. Maybe she's thinking her platform PB or something.
Yeah, maybe.
You can conceive that she's going to get this to have a 20 kilo PB.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow. Maybe she was saying platform PB.
So, yeah, Montserrat nominates another 7.5.
Okay.
I think that actually might be the limit that she's got on there.
Right.
Based on how slow she grinded. But we'll see.
Ruiz, high bar. She's oh my God.
That was fast.
Wow.
Depth might be, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it looked high. I think it looked high.
Everybody said it was high.
Yeah, we'll see the replay here. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was high.
And look, sometimes this is happening. We know she can make depth because she just squatted one before that was depth. But sometimes the body almost inadvertently pulls itself up, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You know, I've had that happen in the gym where, you know, I load up a weight that I think I can get, but then I walk it out and something in the back says, no, you're not going lower than this because you will probably drop this thing.
Yep. And it's certainly not something your mind deliberately tells you. It's almost out of your awareness that your body's just not going to do it. So here's Wu, 205. Okay.
This is close.
So we'll be close. Right.
Two
They've said
red
no.
steps.
No, 2-1, she was high. Give her a round of applause.
And she'll be pretty disappointed with that.
Yeah, she'll probably retake that.
The thing,
she's strong enough to hit it. If she's smart, she will retake that.
yeah.
Bars loaded, Anna Ryzkova.
Anna Ryzkova now. Now did she miss this? Yeah, she missed this. Okay.
Russia, Ryzkova.
She had depth issues. It was strong, but she was. That looks better.
Yeah. Was it enough?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
She's clearly disappointed though.
Yep.
I think she knows she's got more, and you know, she's going to have to, like, again, make a compromise between her second and her third if she wants to fight for a placing here.
Yep. As we mentioned yesterday, the athletes are really got a particular extra motivation to fight to be in the top 3 this championship, as it's the qualifying event for the 2017 World Games in Poland. So those athletes that are even in with a shot at the top 3, so that'd be your likely 4th, 5th, 6th place getters, are trying to build every kilo just in case they can get up there to the top 3, because they'll get automatic qualification for Poland. And the World Games is an event that every equipped lifter wants to go to, because it's the absolute completely top event for powerlifting. 215.
Okay.
Now, I feel quite sure.
This depth, I think it's there.
Depth.
They got her
Okay.
on. Okay, so she'll probably retake that. She'll probably get it if she sinks it a little bit more.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
See that.
It was high on the left.
Okay. Because I was going to say, that level of exertion that she's doing there, I know that she's prepared to find even a bit more. She's a really tough girl. And so she will probably have to take it again. In fact, I'm sure she will, for the sake of what we were talking about, getting every kilo. Kali Shriva from Russia, 220. Little bit of tactics in these second squat attempts to try and secure that top 3 position, then going into the bench.
Yes, solid. Yep. Oh,
Whoa.
it was high though.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, that makes it interesting, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, this is going to get interesting. Because these top ladies in this flight are very close in nominations.
Yep. So Shree's miss on 215. Rysakova has put in 215 as well, but she's heavier than Shree. So
I'm going to round that up to 4.
She destroyed this opener. And this is this 12.5 kilo jump is totally called for here.
Now, can you imagine what it feels like to walk out with 4 times your body weight? I mean, she's having trouble standing up under that.
I've walked out with 3 times my body weight before.
Right. Frighten you?
But I can't even imagine this. That looked really solid.
I hope she gets the depth.
The depth is going to be close.
Wow.
Nice. That puts her in a very, very good position.
So,
looking at the declarations.
Oh yeah, that was deep.
That with Karlasheva and Shree missing their seconds, that opens the door and it closes the gap between the declarations on bench and deadlift for her. So if she comes back with a really strong third, that will put her in a really strong position. Here's Rowena. She took a 10 kilo jump, and I think she will kill this.
Yeah, I think she'll nail this. I think she's probably a bit cheesed off.
Yep. Yeah.
Rightly so.
Missing openers is never good.
No, and I think that little bit of I'm going to prove it factor will smash this up for her. It depends on her temperament, of course, but I pick her for a bit of a fighter.
High bar squat. Oh, yeah, there we go. I think that's solid.
That was determination there. And I think she'll be rightly disappointed that she doesn't get another lift to show what she can do.
She's got 195 in her. I don't know her training, but I just watching that, it came up really smooth, more smooth than some of these top girls that are putting up for their seconds, for sure.
Now, Ellie Steele's gone. What has she gone? 187.5.
I think this is an aggressive jump based on how her second went.
Yes, there we go. That's good wording. Now, she's gutsy, and she's really incredible fighter. So this is going to be all about her mind, her fight that's really natural inside of her, because this is a challenging weight, I think.
Yep.
So we're going to see beautiful shots, those front-on shots, aren't they?
Yes.
As she gets herself set, sucks that big one in, sits herself back, finds a spot. Oh, Ellie!
You know, there might be another 2.5 kilos in her.
Now we see it.
But that's it. So she's happy with that.
Oh, that gorgeous girl. She's hopping off.
That must be a PR. That has to be a big PR for her. She came out and her opener looked so rough.
It did.
But this looked...
This is beautiful.
This actually looked only slightly more grindy than her opener.
That was the best lift of her day
It
so
was.
far. That's why she couldn't figure out what was going on. There we got the smile. My goodness, I think she actually hopped off like a kangaroo. Ellie, we must get you down in Australia, my dear. All she needs is a little Joey in there, and she... I'm sorry, I got all goosebumps then. I'll settle down now. That was great. So here we go, battling away as Wu. 205. Get the depth, girl. Oh,
Nope.
I think she's done it again.
No, it's not there.
Chinese Taipei. Lift.
No.
Little high.
Yeah,
that's a real pity.
That's going back to that. Hey, I think the body said you're
Nope.
not squatting this today.
Yeah, body says no squat.
You're not going to hit.
You're not going there. Don't you go there.
Some people will say that, hey, you got scared under the weight, and I think there's some truth to that too. But it just looked like she wasn't going to hit depth.
The body tries to protect itself and says, if you push this 1 more centimetre, I have to change what I do to get up.
Yeah.
Now, Montserrat hasn't had any trouble getting up so far.
No, she's had no issues at all.
No. 205. Let's see how she hits this. She's very aggressive physically because she just smashes this down. And so just all heart. Oh, that slowed her down. There we go. She's prepared to work.
Slow, really small grind.
Yep.
But I think she got that good.
Yep.
It was solid. She's happy with that.
She'd be a dream to coach because you can really tell where she's at with her weight by the speed of the descent on her squat.
Ruiz, 205.
So wonderful for Montserrat. 205 she finishes with. That's beautiful. Anybody's got to be happy with 3 from 3 in their squats in equipment.
Absolutely.
Terribly happy for her about that. Ruiz is also going 205. Now this lady's an absolute powerhouse. She missed 200 and she's put the 205 because she's determined to get this on her back. Is she going to show it? Can't you just tell by her setup that she's just going to show this that she can do it?
She's pretty fired up. So she missed her second.
Yeah.
And
it was on depth.
Okay, so it came up fast. She's confident.
She's just got to hit it hard, and that's got to be going through her mind right now.
That is a really high bar squat.
She's incredibly compact and strong through the core. Oh, she's got the depth. No. Oh, she left the bar too. Okay, that's a very difficult situation for the spotters. It might be that she fell forward and couldn't stay with it because of the wraps.
And that's good on the spotters.
Well done, spotters. And they're getting a round of applause for that. Let's just see what happened here. She hits it well.
She didn't have quite enough. She just came forward.
Yeah. So just lift is what we were talking about there, and the center spotter just pulls her back.
Indonesia, 215 on the bar.
We coach our lifters to stay with the bar in the respect
Bars loaded.
that it actually helps the spotters to keep you safe. And when you go from away from the bar, things go really messy really fast. But of course, if your momentum is taking you away from the bar, then of course there's nothing you can do.
Right. So I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. Imagine if you pull away from the bar and the spotters are having to
completely handle
500 pounds,
Yeah.
then they're not protecting you from falling on
And
your
they're
face.
not braced, they're not ready. Like they're ready, but they're having to catch that.
Yep. Yep.
It's falling. 215 for Sri. It was depth before. She sinks it in. I don't know if she's got it.
No.
She's got to stay with it, and that's what I'm talking about.
Visibly disappointed with that,
Yep.
but it was a fight.
It was a fight, so it was really borderline whether she could squat that to depth and get back up. She got back up the first time, but she got depth that time, but couldn't get back up. So, well, maybe
the
she
depth
didn't
was
get
definitely
depth.
there.
Yeah, okay. She gave it a good go, but see how she stays with it. The guys can just have control of where the bar is
Yeah.
and use their strength to get it back in the rack.
She missed her first on depth and came back and crushed it.
So
10 kilo jump.
she's in the bronze. She's going to stay in the bronze no matter what. Oh, that's
This is a
hard.
fight. No.
Oh, my God.
Right.
She pulled up.
What a grind.
Oh.
What a grind that
Give
was.
that woman
And
a
she
medal.
You can see she's really drained
She's
from that.
wrecked.
But they got
Oh.
3 reds up and down on the bar.
Oh,
right?
my goodness. Again, my whole body just broke into goosebumps.
Did not lock out her
Watch
knees at the
this
beginning.
woman
At the end of the
work through.
Yeah, there was some up and
She's
down.
being destroyed by that weight.
Wow.
And she's nearly passing out at the
Yeah,
top.
she looks like she's visibly drained.
Distress.
From that.
That's nearly cardiac distress. I mean, her pulse rate hit 200 beats a minute.
So 223. Is this a junior world record?
Yes, no, this is a world record, open world record, because currently the Inner Filaminova holds the world record in this class
Okay.
of 222.5.
6 pounds.
So
So here we are, Victoria Kalasheva, just putting the 0.5 on there to
This
make
is
223, but of course, as you can see, Okia put 227.5 for her, so if she gets that, she'll take it off this lady if she gets it.
I think she's got that.
Right.
Under 4 times her body weight.
So she'll hold if she gets this, she'll hold the record for a minute probably.
And I think Okia will
We'll
give it
we'll take
everything to get that. I mean,
Yeah.
what we saw on her second squat.
It was a little bit of a grind, but it wasn't anything significant.
Oh, she's just stumbled a little bit.
She's got lots of time to come to get this.
Okay.
Sorry.
Stronger walkout. It's so tough to keep the core stable with that much load.
Whoa, she's just collapsing under that bar.
This is a
situation.
She's still got a lot of time. Wow, she's got a lot of time.
What is happening? She's collapsing. She can't hold it.
Yeah.
Her knees are collapsing underneath.
That means wow. So that's huge.
That's a
That's
big miss.
really big. That is a really big deal.
Vilma Vargas just shakes her head and goes, "What was going on?"
Wow. So she's giving up 15 kilos.
Yeah, I mean,
there.
she's still got the silver just on her opener. That's how strong Kalasheva is.
On one of those attempts, the knees broke.
But that really puts
that was an attempt.
that means missed weights are huge in this competition because if something else is to happen in bench or deadlift and she misses more weight, that's just more kilos that she's giving
This
to
is an
Okia.
world record. This is 4.07 times her body weight.
Marcus Sanchez just reading the riot act to Vilma there. Look at the strain on the coach's face.
101 pounds, 227.
He's such a hard-working coach.
This is a really big
goodness.
squat. This is 500 pounds for a 57 kilo woman. This is huge.
right, you got to respect this, people, because she.
Step back.
What's wrong?
Step back. There's blood on the bar.
Okay.
There is blood on the bar.
Oh no, this is a problem because
This is a big problem. She's wrapped for this.
this is a huge deal.
There's blood
The
on
fact
the
that
bar.
there's blood on the bar and she's got wraps on and her legs are getting tight. This is the kind of drama that makes powerlifting crazy.
Oh, this will fire her up, I'll tell you
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I hope she can, and she's such a champion. She will also have composure in this, because this is very doable for her. But she's just having
left
trouble
foot.
taking that one. Oh!
Ooh.
She's furious, I'll tell you now. I'm
She
pretty
still
sure.
has time to. No, they won't let her do it. That's it. She dropped the bar. That's
She
it.
dropped the bar. The jury have
Alright,
said
give
she
her a
just
round
dropped
of
the bar.
applause.
And this is an absolutely dramatic scene here, where what started off as our certainty that she was going to get this lift ended in her dropping the bar before she even really attempted it. There was blood on the bar. She insisted on taking it. She then dropped it. She was thrown. She couldn't move that left foot back for the life of her. It was so heavy.
It was stuck in place,
Yep.
basically.
And her body again was saying, I'm not taking 1 foot off the ground with this weight. So I think they're breaking the bar down to bench now. We're going to come back in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we're not sure, just 5 to 10. So we'll join you back
10 minutes.
very shortly, 10 minutes, and then we're coming into the bench press. We'll see you then.
Yep.
kilos on the bar.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are getting ready to start the bench press of the women's 57 kilo weight class here at the 2016 Open World Championships. Starting off, we've got Buxbaum from Denmark, opening with 165 kilos. I'm sorry, 60 kilos. Just looking at the looking at her squat number. A solid lift.
All right, Eva. Good lift. 3 white lights. Load the bar up.
And next up, we have our Indian lifter, Patel.
India.
Joining me on the mic is a Mr. Elliot Feldman from Philadelphia, right?
Yeah, how are you guys doing out there?
Yeah, we're very good. Now, Elliot, you've been on commentary for plenty of national events in the U.S. before.
Well, in World Championships.
In World
I did
Championships,
last year in
too.
Luxembourg
That's
and
right.
then the year before in Denver. So what did you think about the squats?
It was it's interesting. The there's a lot of doors that are open for people to step in, and if someone else messes up in a lift, and it could really leave the door open for someone else to jump in and take the top podium position. Like that's the thing about powerlifting is hitting lifts wins meets.
Yeah, I found it interesting. The Kolyasheva, they put in, she made her 207.5, and then I think she had 215 in, I believe. We don't have the
Right.
score sheet in front of us.
And here we go.
But I believe.
Oh, and they're taking the bar from her. I'm not quite sure. She timed out. Okay, yeah, she timed out. Did not get the start command before the time ran out.
So anyway, going back to that, so she put in 215 and then missed the 215, and then they came back, put in 223 for a world record. You know
Yep.
that Ochoa was going to be able to probably hit that world record or come close. But it was just interesting that they gave up, or actually she had in 220, and then they missed it on second, went to 223 for the third. The only thing I can figure is they were trying to take that world record out to get that half kilo if they thought it was that tight in the fight, and that it would make Ochoa possibly go another 2.5 kilos to beat her, because she couldn't have that half a kilo.
Yeah.
I wonder if those 3 kilos from 220 to 223 might end up hurting her in the meet, because now she's got to be satisfied with the 207.5 opener instead of retaking 220 and putting it up on the board.
Here we go, Chow from Taipei, and that looked very solid for an opener.
It's really easy.
Really easy.
Lift is good.
Now an equipment bench, with equipment, bench seems to be, it's like the great equalizer for a lot of lifters. If you're really good on bench, you can really make up a lot of ground if your squat or deadlift isn't good, and that's not necessarily the case in raw lifting. So here we go, Fuchigami from Japan, opening with 82.5.
Gumbati, Itsumadori.
Yeah, the women's squats were definitely there's definitely going to be some room for fighting towards the end of the event here. Now let's see what Japanese lifter. Slow descent. Oh, and the grind. She's having some issues on lockout, it looks like, but she got it.
Good. Yuki Terada, Japan.
And next up is Yuki Terada from Japan.
Bars loaded.
85 kilo opener. She's got a very good arch. She's really going to lock those lats in and get that chest up as close to the bar as she can to limit the range of motion. Just a light touch. And drives the bar back over the face. It looks
very easy. Very easy.
So yellow light. So a little bit of up and down.
No, on this it would be yellow. On this would be foot.
Okay, so
commands.
So they're showing the.
Bars loaded.
I don't see where.
All I can think is possibly commands. Yeah.
92.5
It was a lot easier because blue card used to be bar dipping on all 3 lifts.
Right.
Now it's yellow in the squat and blue in the bench and the deadlift. So it gets
interesting.
Yeah. I think it was easier when the blue card was all bar faults. It just made life a lot easier for us.
Blumenfelt from Norway, 92.5 kilo opener. Solid setup.
Tina's a solid lifter. Most of the the Norwegians are very solid, technically proficient.
Oh, she is a technician. You can tell just the way that bar moved.
They come in,
but she got called.
Yellow, probably Butterfoot.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here and see what we
So
can
we'll see. Oh, you know.
Well, hold on. Let's see.
It looks like you can see air. I mean.
But that's not. She's still got butt on there. You got to look and then see.
Load the bar for Sandra Wild.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you can see it clearly.
97.5 kilos.
You can see that
Bars
clearly
loaded,
through on the press.
So she's got to lock that down. We talk about, fully extending the hips on the bench in order to keep the butt in contact with the bench the whole time.
Yeah. And Sandra Wilderman, it's kind of unusual. She actually moved to Australia to learn to speak English. And so she's from the Netherlands and speaks with a Australian accent.
Interesting.
It's just very, very unusual. Very good lifter, very solid.
97.5 kilo opener. Really solid. I think that looked really good.
Bars loaded. Delrani Barbosa, 102.5.
Ronnie Barbosa. $102.5 kilo opener. Very solid lift.
Delrani Barbosa. Lift is good.
I think that looked very good. So Elliot, when we're looking at openers here,
Here's the Haugen Nicholson.
what's your rule of thumb on how much to jump?
Generally, it really depends. Depends on the body weight. It really depends from male to female, and it depends on how good your individual lift is. So you may see, with the women of this size, oftentimes you're only going to see 5 kilo jumps. It depends. If you look, we already have, just for an example, Sandra Wilderman, 97.5. Now she's going 102.5.
Yep. So 5 kilos.
So 5 kilos. Tirada, there you go from 85 to 87.5. So you're only going 2.5. Fujigami is going 82.5 to 87.5. So most you're going to see is 5 in this weight class usually. You have Eva Buxbaum is going from 60 to 75.
Oh, that looks excellent. That was a fast
Hilda was good there. No, she got a yellow card. Let's see. I'm saying it might be foot. Let's see. Because only the one side called it. Well, it's definitely not the foot.
Might have been butt.
But I didn't see. That's not what I saw. Is not
The
an
bar's
illegal butt. Yeah, the
loaded.
butt
Yep.
can move. Some of the butt can even come up. It's just the majority of the
Got it.
the posterior must stay attached.
Right.
So we were talking about attempt selection. Some of them will go 2.5.
And we're back to the top of the order. So Patel on her opener, she missed. She timed out, and so we'll actually get to see. This is her opener here as a second.
Yeah, I mean the Indians have come a long way from where they were, but they still need better coaching. There's a lot of game day things that they need to clean up. They've got some strong lifters, very good lift.
And that looked very good.
They've got some very strong lifters, and you see the same thing with the Mongolians too, who are very strong. But their technique is not great, and their game day selections and choices are not great. And you see them come up though. We've seen Ecuador come up. We've seen Venezuela come up where they were. Squatting high, form wasn't good, making crazy jumps, and now you get to the point where you've got Ecuadorians, Brazilians, and Venezuelans pushing for medals, if not gold medals, on the World Championship in a lot of weight classes.
Yeah. Here we go, Buxbaum with her second. She jumps 15 kilos.
Right, and that's what I said. She's sandbagging a little bit on her opener because part of what goes on here is
A little bit of a grind.
some of it has to do with national philosophy of how you do it. So if she got called, I wonder if her butt was up.
Her butt came off the bench.
That's a huge jump. That would be like
Yeah.
me jumping 25 kilos from opener to second.
Barcelona,
on the bench. I'll do that on the squat. I would never attempt that on the bench press.
Yeah, I coach on the side for RTS, and we talk about game day coaching in terms of our jumps, especially for bench. In raw bench, we never jump more than 10 or 12 kilos.
Yeah, no. Well, part of the thing is with raw benching, you cannot adjust the gear. There's nothing.
Yep.
You can't, quote, dial in the gear or crank the gear to do anything.
Yep. So here's Chow from Chinese Taipei. Their second, she made a 5 kilo jump. And that was ridiculous. Like that looked like an opener.
This is good.
She's got another 10 kilos in her, easy. Like, no problem. It'll be interesting to see what she does, though.
Yeah.
That was really, really fast.
And too, I just want to say hi out there to Aaron Ziffel, who just sent me an instant message. He and his lovely wife are not going to be able to be here. She is apparently going to be a police officer in Canada, so they're not here. Hi out there to the Ziffels. And I will find out for you. Answer your question. So guys, if you're out there, you have questions, you can hit me up, you can hit Adam up if you know our Facebook or Twitter or something, and just ask us questions. It really helps us. I know last year on the live stream we had the Twitter feed IPF, and it helped a bit. So if you guys have questions or suggestions, or we're not getting somebody's name right or whatever,
Yeah,
it's
please.
all good.
So Fuchigami makes a 5 kilo jump here.
Oh, I know.
And that looked really, really solid.
Yeah, that was.
But she gets called.
Also, her butt came off the
bench.
It's an interesting thing, and I've noticed this as a coach, and I've noticed this as a referee also, that certain flights you see the same mistakes being made by everybody.
Yeah.
If they're getting called for butt,
So if nothing else, that means the judging is consistent.
one would hope is it markedly consistent or markedly inconsistent in that they're consistent in their inconsistency.
Yeah. So Elliot mentioned Twitter. If you are on Twitter at all and you want to send me or a message, my handle is Palmer1027 on Twitter.
Oh.
And that is the 9for9 Twitter.
Yes, and I just got a correction because I wasn't paying attention to Eva's opener. Eva opened raw, which is correct. I should have said that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she jumped 15 kilos. So and that's why that one doesn't bother me so much, only because I know that's 75 the number
here we
she
go.
can handle.
It came up. Nice. Very nice. Two. So a little slow for a second, but I mean, it came up.
she got one red card, which kind of mystifies me, which is red card means failure to hit the chest.
Bars loaded,
Interesting.
Blumenfeld,
Yep.
92.5 kilos.
Keena Blumenfeld is coming up. Keena, I expect to see some big things out of her in a couple of years. She's made her way onto the national team for Norway the last few years, and it just is improving. See her physique improving, technique, and her control on the platform is better.
So she had a butt issue or a foot issue, one of the two, on her opener and missed it. Just got to keep it solid. Come on, there we go. See if they get it. And she gets it. Nice.
And, you know, we were talking about attempt selection, especially in the bench press, that at our Classic Nationals, Mike Toucher sat in with me for probably, I don't know, half an hour or so.
Okay.
And we did. And that was one of the things we discussed. We discussed more attempt selection and approach, different types of lifters and psyche of lifters and things, which is an important thing, coaching. Not everybody's coached the same way. Not everybody competes the same way. Some people want to be yelled at. Other people don't want to hear a command. They don't want to hear anything. And that's me. I know personally, I don't want to hear anything. Let me go out. And, don't tell me to tighten my back or anything else. Just let me lift. And some people need that cueing. So
Here we go. Sandra Wildman.
Sandra, lift is good.
Looks very good. Like a solid second. So, Elliot, can you kind of describe what it feels like to put on a bench shirt?
It depends. It's really funny. In the States, we tend to have really tight sleeves, and you need help, and you need plastic bags and things to get the shirts on. And it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. It's tiring for the lifter to get into the shirt and warm the shirt up, because the shirt physically has to come to body temperature to work properly.
Yeah.
But it's also hard for people to put them on.
Ronnie Barbosa here, 5 kilo jump.
She is always a happy girl. Ronnie just seems, she's a strong competitor. She's fierce, but she definitely always seems to be in a good mood, unlike some of us.
There's some lifters that are really angry.
There are. I mean,
all the time.
I lift angry. I'm not angry the rest of the time.
So she's
Irina's
pressing
good. There
very
she
much
goes.
straight up and down.
Yeah.
Her descent looks like
This is good.
she's flaring her elbows almost early, it seems. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, she is a little bit.
Hildy Haugen, Mikkelsen, Norway,
When I watch her lift, whether it's squat, deadlift, or bench, one of the things that I see in her is joint laxity. So it's a lot. Where me, I'm really locked in and I have tight joints.
Right.
That bench and pull my elbows in is easy. For her, everything's a little bit loose. So even when she squats, hips a little bit loose. Everything's and that's her body. That's not her not using proper form. I think in certain ways she needs probably some help for stabilizing exercises and stuff in her upper body. So again, and then you're talking about the shirts. Let's see,
Hilda's gonna hit a 5 kilo jump here.
Hilda's up.
That looked excellent.
The one thing you know about Norway is technique.
Yeah, she's really happy with that.
And excitement. A lot of their lifters, especially the women more than the men, yell after they're made
Yeah,
attempt.
the men are very stoic.
Yeah,
from what I've seen.
they really are. And it's so anyway. Going back to the shirt, so it's interesting that the Americans a lot of times wear the really tighten the sleeves and loosen the back, and the Japanese prefer a looser sleeve and a smaller, tighter chest pad.
Interesting.
So
you know what? That allows them to put the chest plate right on the chest and make sure that it's always fitting the same way every time.
Yep.
But they get consistency out of that.
Correct. And then some of them, it's amazing, they can get their bench shirts on themselves.
Yeah.
Which you're not going to see that happen with an American, a Canadian, a Brit, a German. They need help getting it in.
I've been known to put my own shirt on.
Then it's, as we would say in America, that's too loose. I have one I can get into too, but it's. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that
not giving
looked
me
very
anything.
good.
Yeah.
That looked very good. I hope she gets this.
Yeah.
Yes. There we go.
You know, and again, talking about gear in general, the difference is that a lot of the Russians, as they train, they'll just, on the inside, on their seams, they'll just take in the seams of the suit every week.
Yep.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. They'll put in another stitch, and just so they'll get the hips tighter and tighter on the squat suit as it goes along.
Yeah.
They don't adjust the straps as much, but they do the hips of the suit.
And we are back for thirds here. This is Patel from India with a 5 kilo jump. 80 kilos on the bar. She has a long way to go.
She has long
And
arms.
I wonder if
Long arms.
and I wonder if she could be gripping wider. I mean, that looked like a solid lift, but she could be extending her grip out even further.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at how narrow her grip is. She's not, her pinkies are basically on the rings there.
On the bar. Bars loaded.
Nonetheless, solid lift, she got it.
On deck, Chinese Taipei, Chow.
And watch Hero's setup here.
In the hole, Terada, Japan.
So this is like going back to what she said about her shirt. It's very loose in the arms.
Right. Yep.
And it's like flat, the chest plate's flat up against the chest.
Yeah, some of them, the chest plate is like half as big as my chest plate.
Wow. So that makes for a really tight descent then.
I mean, I have no idea how they do it.
That looked solid.
And you can see the shirt on the left, the sleeve on the left arm was even gapping a little bit. You can
Yeah.
see like
Oh,
space
yeah.
a little bit. So they have a very different, a different theory about how to wear the gear. And you know, we were talking about jumps and warm ups and things. It comes along to national philosophies, and a lot of times the Russians and the Ukrainians will warm up to almost their opener, where Americans will never do that.
Wow.
You know, so they'll sometimes take, 5 kilos less of a warm up than their opener. We would never do a squat within 10 or 5 kilos ever.
Here we go. Chow from Chinese Taipei. Wow, that was really solid. That was fast. It's like an opener.
And there you go. So that's kind of where it's dangerous to go, well, someone's opening here and someone's opening here, and it means anything. Not necessarily. You've got to know that coach's philosophy and that lifter's history as to what kind of jumps they can handle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here comes Yuki Terada, Japan, 90 kilos on the bar.
I preferred opening lighter in the squat and taking a big jump. I mean, the biggest jump I think I ever took, 25 or 27 and a half kilo first to second. And but you got to be trained for doing those bigger jumps.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to do it in training. Right?
Right, exactly. So here, Terada went from 85 to 87 and a half, and then 87 and a half to 90.
So really small jumps.
Yeah, but again, they're going to open. The Japanese a lot of times open as a nation that's great as benching historically, is going to open much higher percentage.
See,
there you go.
308, she's happy with that.
Right.
Awesome.
No.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if maybe we could take a lesson from the Japanese in terms of how we wear the gear and how we train it. Is that something that people do? You think that's
everybody talks? Everybody talks. I haven't seen any top flight American bench only people. I don't know about 3 lifters that have done what the Japanese have done. I've never seen a chest panel, and I inspect a lot of gear at international meets during equipment check. I've never seen the panels as small as what the Japanese use.
People tell me all the time, they're like, I see the Japanese here with their sewing machines and fixing things. Like they know what they're doing.
They make changes all the time. And again, so do the Russians and the Ukrainians. They'll do
5 kilos. Come on. And she's going to get that. She's really excited. See what they give her. Yeah, and she is really happy with that.
We are seeing a lot of yellow cards from that one referee. So
Yeah,
let's see what we're seeing. Now, Keena's on the edge. Keena's always on the edge. But I want to see if we see a change in the position.
Bars loaded.
Ooh.
I see no contact there. I didn't see anything from that angle.
From that angle.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the judges see necessarily because they are on the side.
Exactly. But the one thing I will say is that we're seeing a lot from there.
Yes.
And that's
the Viva TV crew has got the butt cam positioned right there.
No more changes. Thank you, Sasha.
Here we go. Sarah Wildemann.
very good. There you go.
Oh, it's a grind. She's going to get it. I think she gets
good.
it.
Let's see what the referees say.
Oh, lockout and up and down.
Well, no, but lockout should be a blue card too.
Oh yeah. Okay, so what?
Red card is only failure to touch chest.
But she clearly touches because she gets the press command, right?
I mean, and that's where that comes in nowadays. Okay,
Yep.
is if you're coming literally below the belt,
Okay.
or you're hitting the belt.
Right.
That's that card. It's it's an odd. It's odd. I don't know. It's probably a referee that knows the rules but doesn't know the cards for the infraction.
Interesting.
And that's where that gets exposed here. That's not just a red or a white light, where we have these lights that actually give you the decision as to what to the fault. It allows us to, as a jury or as an IPF technical committee, to talk to the referees and coach them like you're doing the wrong.
What the fault, Elliot? Come on.
What the fault is going on here? We've had a few of them. That sometimes I'll sit on a jury and just shake my head and just, within the rules, there's not much we can do about certain stuff, but yeah, just shake my head.
And that is unfortunate. So she had, all kinds of issues there.
And again, you're looking. She went 5 kilos and 5 kilos. It might have just been 2.5 kilos too much for her right there. I mean the second
just
one,
nothing.
The second one for Arena went up, and it went up well, but it looked tough, and that's where knowing your lifters comes in.
The bar's loaded.
And this is a big. This 120 bench is big. This by nomination could have put her in the second flight here. Looking at it, because you're looking at the second flight nominations, and she's up there.
Yeah, her Hilda's
strong bencher.
Issue is the deadlift. She's a good squatter and a good bencher. The issue is her deadlift, which will come up over time, I think. She's also not really built so much like a deadlifter, more like a bencher and a squatter. Look at that arch she's got. Look at how high she's arched.
Oh, that was solid. Oh, what a joke. Wow. That looked so fast.
And you'll see that a lot from the Norwegians. That people are like, why didn't they go more? Why didn't they go more?
So it's funny. You look at her shirt. She's got like a very large back. Like the spandex on her back is extra large.
Yes.
And so it's got the low cut on the front to get that extra pop almost.
Yep. All right.
We are moving on to the second flight of the 57 women here, and we're going to start with Kenia Monserrati from Ecuador, a 95 kilo opener. She had a really, really good 205 squat, and she moved the weight really well.
Well, it's 451. I mean, that's just a big.
That's huge.
That's
for a 57 kilo female. That is amazing.
That is, she doesn't weigh about a minute.
Oh yeah, there we go.
About a minute, but ugly, but it's a good lift.
It gets the job done.
Yeah, and too, sometimes in equipped lifting, if you're used to watching classic or training classic, you will oftentimes see openers and gear look really rough, and you'll wonder, my gosh, they don't have anything left.
Yeah.
they put a little bit more on the bar gets down easier to the chest, and they're able to press it out. So sometimes succeeding lifts are oftentimes easier than the openers, especially in the bench press.
Right, and we talk about seating the suit as well, like
Right.
going into the second attempt.
Yeah.
So if it's not seated right on the opener, then they'll come back and it'll be sitting right then at that point.
Right. Now, some people even change shirts.
Right.
Or as we saw with Eva Buxbaum, she opened raw and then moved to the shirt.
Here we go. Ruiz from Venezuela, 107.5.
You know what I noticed too? It's funny thing is I don't see as much changing of shirts as I used to years ago, and I'm not sure what the reason behind that. Why maybe people decided it's not worth it, the effort and the energy it takes to do it.
Solid.
There you go.
It looked to me like she came almost straight up and down a little bit on her press command. The bar path you really want is, and we'll get a better angle of it here to see whether or not her elbows flare enough to really. Yeah, she could have flared back more and gotten a better bar path over her face,
right,
and put those the front delts into play, and she would have an easier time. So if she comes back and it looks like we'll see what she nominates for the next one. But
yeah, so Vilma's up at 107.5. She kind of her squats looked amazing. Her first and her second.
Oh, they were awesome.
Looked fantastic.
I mean, she tied the world record.
Yep.
Here we go. Oh, solid. Looked really good.
And I believe that world record is hers also. So it's not like
it is actually owned by Ina Filimonova.
Oh, it is Ina.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's funny. It's interesting. I wonder if she had known that. I wonder if her coach knew that the world record was 222.5. If she would have added half a kilo.
Marco, who's her coach, is very sharp. One of the sharper coaches in the world. There's probably a reason that he didn't do it, and they're looking because they're not coming here for world records. The first thing they're coming here for is to win,
take the title,
to medal, and take the title. So, that's world records, and this is where it's a little bit different in the IPF than maybe some other federations. The first thing to do is win.
Yep.
And then everything else has got to fall into place, and that's one of the reasons we got rid of fourth attempt world records, because we want them to come within the flow of the competition naturally.
Here we go. 120 kilo opener.
And this is important for her right there. It looked very easy.
That's fast.
It looked very easy.
That's awesome.
And again, pay attention to her. That Kalsheva had 207.5. She put 220 on the bar, missed, went to 223 to break the world record, and try to pick up that extra half a kilo to put pressure on some of the other lifters. As a lighter lifter, it forces them to go up in a heavier 2.5 kilos up to beat her with that half kilo. So that half kilo is really worth 2.5 kilos to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But here comes the caveat. She missed it, and she stuck with 207.5 instead of possibly having 220.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Right there, that extra, you go 3 kilos. Well, it's only 6.6 pounds. Oh, it's a lot more than 6.6 pounds.
Yeah.
Doesn't work out that way in a world
Wu
championship.
From Taipei here with 125 kilos.
And again, she's in the ballet shoes. It's interesting, the different footwear.
125
Make quick work of that.
kilos lifted. Not good. Her butt.
Maybe her foot.
Came off the bench. Her butt came off the bench.
All right, let's see here. We get butt cam here. And you see she's wearing the very flat shoes.
Yep.
I don't know about that. Ooh. I mean, again, we can't see
from the side.
But I'm almost, the issue with butt is, and it's probably one of the most contentious things in the sport as far as referees are concerned, is that their thing is if they see any butt come off at all, they're listing it as butt off the bench, and that's not the way the rule's written.
Got it. So maybe it's a point of clarification that if the butt stays in contact with the bench, it's still legit. Even if it's just like it comes up a little bit, like the hips aren't fully extended to start.
Well, and that's why we generally have referee clinics, and we'll generally also have a referees meeting beforehand to go over rules and say, this is what you're looking for with corrections. not everybody, unfortunately, attends those meetings.
This 125 looked really solid.
This is good.
And consistently the butt off the bench call.
Butt off the bench call again. And you know, and I'm not even sure if psychology plays into it. Did referees see? That might have been off, though.
Yeah.
That might have been off. You see the way it was almost like
Yeah.
a flickering headlight?
Yep.
And that's, like, you start learn to pick up cues as a referee, and you see a flickering, it kind of means it's up.
So Rowena Lopez here is a very good bencher.
Rowena got a 185 squat. She has historically had a problem, especially at Worlds, hitting depth. She was exceptional today and has really improved. Her overall technique looked better, and it allowed her to get to depth. I don't know if she worked on some hip flexibility, but she is able to stay a little more upright and hit that depth easily to be in there, and now to be in contention to try and get a medal. We'll see what happens.
That looked solid.
276 pounds USA. Rowena
There you
Yes,
go.
there we
There you
go.
go.
So our top two benchers here, opening at 130 and 135 respectively. This is very close to the 57 world record
Bars loaded.
of. Oh, never mind.
Indonesia,
It's,
3.
so the open world record is 145. It'll be interesting to see if either of these ladies take a stab at it.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, it's got to come within the flow of the meet. You're seeing fewer world records set a lot of times because competition is so tight.
Yeah, and missing a lift really matters.
Correct. I mean, that's the number one thing. Generally, lifters that make more attempts are the ones that are going to win the meet.
Here we go. Oh, jeez. That's good. That's what you want.
And you know what? It's interesting with the Indonesians. They'll kind of disappear for a year or two.
Yep.
And literally just not, and then they'll come back and they've got. They're one of the more amazing nations. Their Wilks score of the lifters that they bring to the world is just like off the charts.
Yeah.
They had a guy, Sutrisno, who had been around for years. I saw a meet where he set all 4 world records in the meet. I mean, it was just like, you're like, really, dude, seriously.
Put some weight on the bar.
Like, what is going on? And Sutrisno, like, lived in the mountains, and you couldn't get in touch with him, and Titan would send him new gear, and it would get sent back because they couldn't deliver it. And,
Oh, man.
yeah, and so he'd come out of the mountains every couple of years and set world records and leave.
Just ridiculous. Yeah. Anna Ryskova from Russia, 135. Oh, very tough grind.
Very solid for an opener, but it was tough for an opener.
Almost to a no.
And
It's not good. Her
the consistency of the yellow card on that right side is coming to play here.
And that was from the chief referee on the one side.
Yep. So a yellow card from the front means head, potentially.
Generally, but we saw that head and it wasn't up. Now, where I sit off to the side and where this chief referee is sitting off to the side, you can get
some butt.
a good shot on the butt.
Yeah.
You can, if you're sitting off to probably about a 30-degree angle from the head, you can look down that body and see that butt come off sometimes.
And I wonder if that's why she sits off to the side, so that she can really judge that, potentially.
I mean, that's why I do. Right now, you're almost never going to get a head call off the bench because the side referees have an impossible task to see that where they're sitting on the sides now with the face savers in there.
Yep.
The catch. Those catchers are there to prevent people from getting hurt, as you can see it right there.
Yep.
And they obscure the head.
Yeah. So, 105 kilo jump, 100 kilos on the bar.
Now let's see if she comes off here, because her butt is barely on when she starts. Let's see.
It looked good to me.
It looked very easy.
No
There you go.
Consistently.
And that's see this one, and I don't know if it did or it didn't, but I was just watching her setup.
Yeah. There's.
Let's see. Hold on.
Yep. There
Yeah,
it
but I
is.
don't know.
You know, her hips may be in contact, but the meaty part of the butt might be coming up.
Well, the meaty part of the butt can come up as long as you don't get up onto the hamstrings. Right.
So we could see that her hamstrings were touching the bench, but maybe that's what's going on.
And again, we can't criticize that. I'm just what I will say here definitively. I have not seen this many butt calls.
Yeah.
In around the benching before. Now it could be the platform they're pushing in. There's something wrong.
Yeah.
The bench is not responding right, even though the Eleiko equipment is consistent all the way across. But there's definitely a theme running, and you'll find that sometimes. And it's not even by session. It's group by group.
Right. At least the judging consistent.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
And that's the main thing.
It definitely is.
Oh.
Nobody.
So that was a strength issue. She's going to have another shot at that.
Bars loaded, Vilma Vargas Ochoa, Ecuador, 115 kilos.
All right, here comes Vilma. Let's see how she does. With this. You know, she's got an issue in that her bench is so far below
Her
the
squat.
other top. Well,
Yeah.
not just below her squat, but below the other top lifters. So she got a great squat. Obviously, you know, took a shot at the world record. Has a decent deadlift, but it's the bench really holds her back. So she's got to try to push that squat a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see what they say here. Yeah, and
Here we go.
Good 2-1. I do not disagree with that call. Let's take a look at the bar again.
Yeah.
I do not disagree with the 2-1 on that. That is a borderline bench press here. All right, bar dips there. Okay, dips again. All right, so, but again, that's a borderline. 2-1 is probably where that lift should be.
Yeah. So she will probably come back and put 2.5 on that, but we'll see what happens. I'm curious to see what she does.
I think that they're probably going to make a change with the way the shirt's sitting on her too. There you go, 5 kilos.
Okay.
I mean, again, she's got a very good coach. And we'll see what happens.
Man. So that was her opener that she missed due to butt on the bench. I'm guessing she made some adjustments, came back and nailed that.
Bars loaded.
So,
Victoria Kolyasheva.
yeah, when we talk, what do you tell lifters that have issues with keeping their butt on the bench?
Keep your butt on the bench.
Just keep it on the bench? Yeah.
No, a lot of it is people try to be too far on the edge when they're setting up. Push through one of the biggest things is push through your feet and keep your shoulders in. I don't worry about the butt so much. Try not to throw the hips. Get the push from your feet and from your shoulders and your snap, not as much from the hip.
Oh, that was solid. That looked really good. And 3 whites. Nice.
Now, I will tell you that I'm a great squat and the deadlift coach, just good on the bench press, right? So I'm not.
So we talk about this, and you've been in the sport for a really long time, Elliot. What are your personal bests in equipment and raw, if you don't mind?
Raw numbers are really rotten. My best best PB squat is over 7.
Equipped
3, yeah, equipped 3.
So 317 kilos.
I'm gonna say like 3. Well, it's high. It's actually higher than that. It's
at what weight class? 105.
93.
93.
Well, 90. It's
90,
been that
right.
long. Unfortunately, it's been that long since I've competed. Bench was 424. So what is? I don't even know what the heck that is in kilos.
That's 190 kilos, I think, or 192.
Really? I did that much? Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And raw, the best squat I ever did was 250 kilos. Raw.
Okay.
And that was, me personally, I'm not a fan of classic, only because of the way my body responds to it. Not that I don't like classic. After I did that 250, my ACLs were sore on both legs. Both knees were sore for about 3 months.
And here we go. Ellie Steele from Great Britain coming back with a 130, second attempt. So here we go. Strong setup, wide grip. Yep, there we go. I think that looked really solid. And the butt call on the right.
You know, and that's, again, there's just so much of that. And
Yeah.
all you can ask for is consistency. Now, that butt was up.
Yeah.
That butt was up. There was no doubt. That probably should have been, a no lift.
United States of America, bars loaded.
There's Rowena.
She makes a 7.5 kilo jump to 132.
She's being coached by Tony Cardello.
This is a very, very, very important
Open world champion, Tony Cardello.
lift for her right here in the flow of the competition. She's coached by Tony Cardello, who's a world champion, won his world championship in 2007, sold in Austria, 9 for 9, 27 white lights, American record, which was then broken by Mike Toucher, but at the Arnold, I think, the next year. But it was an amazing performance by Tony, totally in command from opening squat to the final deadlift. Let's watch Rowena here.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. I think she got it.
There we go. There we go.
Excellent.
I mean, it wasn't the cleanest of lifts, but again, it's not about how pretty something is or how easy it is.
I mean, you watched Blaine Sumner's 885, and it wasn't a pretty lift, but it certainly came up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. None of that matters.
Yeah, he benched 885.
None of that matters. Yeah, he's going to hit a big number here, I think.
I can't wait to see him on Saturday. I really can't.
Well, I got a really, really good view. I'm going to be 8 feet away. I'm going to be 5 meters away.
Go, Anna Ryzkova. She missed this first one on the technical butt call, I think.
I believe you're correct.
There we go.
Look at how far her feet are under her hips.
Yeah, she brought them back to make sure that her butt was in contact with the bench.
Yep. And she still got a butt call.
And so there we go.
Let's
One
see
butt call on
the
the
replay
right.
here. See if we get a replay.
Bars loaded.
And I want to give a shout out to Scott Dobbins, who has designed the light system that you see coming up on the screen here. That's all Scott Dobbins from Texas A&M, junior world champion.
Yep. Sri
Sri
from
Harpati, Indonesia.
I want to say Scott squatted
Dobbins.
410. Squat Dobbins.
That's right.
That is what we mess with him. I believe he squatted 410.
Yep.
Or 412 and a half. Something. It was a big number. Big number. It's hard to roll that across the floor, much less squat it.
I know.
But he's a good guy, smart guy. He's got some other stuff coming up, some software, some other things.
He's one of those technical guys.
You're talking about an engineer,
Yeah.
electrical engineer at one of the best engineering schools in the world at Texas A&M, so he's a smart kid.
Oh, my God. We might see a world record.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see a world record out of her.
3 white lights.
But it's, again, interesting with the Indonesians. They'll come out of the woodwork, not show up for years, bring a whole team,
Yep.
set some world records, and then go off into the sunset for another couple of years.
We will likely see a world record from Shri. We'll see what happens. And Anna Ryzkova has declared 142.5 for her third. We are moving into third attempts now for the women's 57 class. And I'm going to do a shameless plug for my company, 9 for 9. If you are competing at this meet and you're interested in purchasing a photo package, please go to 9for9media.com and check us out. Check out the our Instagram page at 9for9media. But Kenia Monserrati is retaking 100 kilos.
Yeah, she's good. I mean, Ecuador has come up a long way.
Go. She got called for butt. Let's see if she gets it this time.
There you go.
The left judge,
for the butt again.
The left side got her, but hey, she got the lift. That's good.
See. And we're seeing here becomes the problem too. I see nothing in that. Part of the problem is that it becomes a self-fulfilling thing. So you have half of the people on the butt, and so you're looking at everybody's butt now, and you're staring at it, and you really have to learn not to fixate on parts of the lift.
Yeah, because you want to see the whole lift, especially from the side, because you have the best view.
Right.
But there's a lot to look at in bench. It's probably the hardest to judge.
It is the hardest to judge now. Well, it's easier. Actually, I think with some of the changes, I think it's become easier. It was definitely the hardest and my least favorite. But was my least favorite. But now that the whole of the bar must dip, it's a little bit easier. And now that the foot can slide, it's also made it easier to do. So.
There we go. I think that looked good. We'll see what the judges say.
And
Three white lights.
But for years, it was my least favorite to judge, and I would do everything. I would not do single lift meets. Now it doesn't bother me as much. Maybe I'm a better referee, but I think the rule changed helped.
Yeah.
The bar is loaded.
And it's also a lot easier for me as a referee with the press command back in. It makes it a lot cleaner to decide was the bar motionless on the chest, because as a chief referee, I'm making that decision, not the lifter.
And all these third benches are big benches for 57 kilo women. These are all really respectable numbers here. And it does look like Shri has nominated to go 1 kilo over the world record.
Okay. All right. So the existing record's 145 right now?
145 sit by.
And she's put on 146.
That looked really solid.
Yep.
Let's see what the judges say.
And it's butt. Let's see. This is
terrible. That's gonna hurt her big time. And she is sitting with the top nominated squat, or the top squat at 222. That hurts.
I am not sure what. I don't know.
She may contest that. It wasn't all red, so she could contest that and come back and get the jury to agree to it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Marco has not come over there. Our coach.
Karlasheva, Russia, 130.
So she went 7.5. Now she's going 2.5.
Yeah, her 7.5 for her second was kind of a grind.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm not sure.
The shirt for her looks like it doesn't engage the chest panel until very low. Oh, but she made some adjustments. That looked, that's big.
See, yeah, it's huge right there. It's pretty much game on. Now I don't see. She got a blue card from the head.
Up and down on the bar.
That's what they're saying, but I don't
see it in the replay.
I don't see it either. You can try to be too fine and too perfect as a referee, and you wind up. When you do that, you're part of the competition instead of just overseeing the competition. That's, as a referee, we're kind of supposed to control stuff, but stay out of the way, right? If you notice the referees, they're probably not doing a good job. It's like they say with any official in a sport, if you notice them, there's an issue. Wow, that looked easy.
10 kilos.
Is good.
That looks excellent.
Bar is loaded.
We haven't had many lifts.
Ellie Steele.
I would like to, if I was keeping a score
135
sheet,
kilos, almost
but see how many
300 pounds,
clean
great
lifts there
bars
were with
loaded.
no butt call, at least
Right.
from one.
There probably weren't very many.
No, a handful.
But I mean, like you said, it's at least the consistency. So
Yep. It seems to be applied evenly
Yep.
across the board.
it could even be something as simple as maybe the platform is off on one side or something like
It's
that.
possible, but I honestly have never seen this.
Ellie Steele has from Great Britain has opted to make another 5-kilo jump from her second. And that looked like a solid lift. And she gets it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a message from world champion Steve Mann, letting me know that Scott Dobbins' best is 4:02.
Oh, that's right, because Steve Mann holds the American record, doesn't he?
303
He owed some record. I don't know what that record's for. biggest head on a power lifter. I don't know, something like that. But no, he's a great lifter in his own right, and he just set the Masters, I believe, Masters world record squat, Masters world record bench down in St. Croix. He's a beast of a lifter, and we kind of miss him not being here. But he's had a busy year and busy couple of years with throwing meets and competing.
Yeah.
So.
And here we go. We've got another 5-kilo jump from Marina Lopez. Here we go. Let's see if she gets this. It got quiet in here. Come on. Grab it back. There we go. I think that looks solid. Let's see what the judges say. 3 whites.
There you go. Beautiful.
That's great.
She is having a very, very good day. She had a really hard year, a really hard meet the last couple of years, and she really went back to the drawing board and got a lot better.
Yeah.
Her bench is looking more solid, and her squat was 1,000% better than it's seen. Probably the best I've ever seen her.
And we are down to the top 2 benchers in this flight. Here we go.
Anna Ryzhkova, 142.5. She opened with 135, missed it, had to retake it on her second for 135, and then went up 7.5 kilos. So let's see.
And it wasn't a strength issue. It was the butt call.
It was the butt call. And it's hard to tell, especially on openers, if it's strength or not, or if it's gear. Some things look like guys don't even have any chance of making it.
Here we go. Oh, she's going to get that. I think it looks solid.
Let's see. Do we get a butt call? And a butt call.
2 butt calls.
And a butt call.
That hurts her big time, though. All these misses really hurt, especially that for a 7. She's giving up 7 kilos there, and so we're going to see how that affects her total, especially coming into deadlift. And we are going to see a world record potentially here in a minute.
Yeah, and this is well within her capabilities from what we've seen. She opened at 130, took an absolutely huge 10-kilo jump, which is 22 pounds to 140.
I reckon she could probably press 150. She could probably press 150, and she's going to take a very conservative 1 kilo attempt over.
146 kilos at the 57 kilo weight class.
Watch her set up here. She comes through the bar, going to drive her feet down, and then use the bar to push herself in the position.
On the bench.
We've got a larger crowd here today than we did yesterday to see this world record.
And just wait till Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Oh, I can't.
It's going to be a zoo. It's going to be a zoo.
Here we go. World record attempt. Oh, that looks so solid.
Yeah.
The lift is
And it's a new world record. And it's a new world record.
All right, let's see if we get a replay here. I want to see. There's Bill
There
Helmick.
was one butt call
Put 10 minutes on the
on the left.
And we will be back with the deadlift. Don't go away now.
May have been a legit butt call, but we can't see from this angle. It's a little
can't
hard.
see
It's a little
enough.
difficult to see.
Again, the only thing I say is it's just I've never seen that many in
Yeah.
one session. So,
And that just rounds out the bench press for the 57 women's class here at the 2016 World Championships. Shout out to all of our sponsors: Titan, SSP Nutrition, 9 for 9 Media, Inzer, Reband, and our title sponsors: Alico, SBD, and USA Powerlifting, and Rogue. Not to forget Rogue and Bodybuilding.com. We will be back after a short break here of 10 minutes for the deadlift. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2016 Open World Championships, the IPF Open World Championships held down here in Orlando, Florida. We are starting the deadlift for the 57 women. And Gino is catching ice. Oh, that is a good catch. And here we go. Starting off with a 125 kilo pull. Uchigami from Japan. And that looked like a good lift.
And I want to give a shout out to Martin Flett, who unfortunately cannot be here with us this week.
125 on the bar on deck. Haugen, Mikkelsen in the hole, Wildman.
So Martin unfortunately can't be with us, and my little Scottish buddy. Hope he's doing well and everything's fine up there.
Nidhi Singh Patel from India, 125 kilos on the bar. She's running out to get this lift.
Thank you, Elliot.
And that looked solid.
This is good. Hilde Haugen Mikkelsen, Norway.
We are in the first of 2 flights here.
Bars loaded.
So this is where
Hilde, yep.
Hilde has an issue that she's got a good squat. She got a squat end of 192.5, a bench of 120, but then the opener of 147.5, it's kind of forces her off of the medal stand.
Three whites.
And some of the same things that makes Hilde a great bencher also makes her a not
as good
great
deadlifter.
deadlifter. Watch how far above the knees her bar finishes, as opposed to some of the other lifters. So Sandra has much longer arms. So what hurts her in the bench helps her in the deadlift.
A lot of people, man, I have yet to see a single, and I've been here for, coming up on, a day and a half now. I've yet to see a single person pull conventional. All of these lifters are pulling sumo.
You generally won't see it until you get to some of the heavier weights. There's some, I don't know if there's even any 93s, but there's some 120s and some supers too.
Yep, we'll see Joe Capolino pulls conventional.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe Capolino he tends to deadlift in just his suit without a t-shirt. It's quite a sight.
Yeah.
It's quite a sight. It's quite a sight. He is a piece of man.
The girth god, so to speak. Kina Blumenfeld from Norway.
Kina, I'm expecting over time some big lifts out of Kina. She's still very young, 25 years old, and is just maturing. But
so 160. It's 160 deadlift solid.
Again, Dietmar Wolf, who's the coach for Norway, is very good with both the numbers that he calls in training, the numbers that he calls in during the meet, but also their technique is immaculate.
Up next is Stellada in the hole.
And while we're speaking of Norway, I'd like to give a shout out to Karl Ingvar Christensen. Unfortunately, he's not here with us. Had one of the greatest totals, one of the best performances in IPF history in Denver 2 years ago. Just absolutely dominant. One best lifter, which for a super is just an amazing thing to do. An amazing thing to do. World record squat, world record, almost world record bench, world record total, EPF record deadlift to win and knock Fedosenko out.
162. That looked like a very solid. She's got something going on with her leg, her left leg there, so I'm not sure if her foot is injured or what.
She might have caught a cramp too. Part of the thing is from benching. Sometimes you'll catch a cramp down there. Generally exposes itself on the bench.
So maybe
but-
her calf maybe cramped up, or
Yeah, her calf or her hip. I don't think it's a big deal. We'll see moving
Bars
forward.
loaded.
Yuki Terada from Japan, 165 opener. I'm just excited to hopefully see some conventional pullers because I am myself a conventional puller in a suit.
I mean,
So-
I pull conventional in training, but
That looked really good.
yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, talking about conventionals, somebody like a Brad Gillingham is amazing to watch. First of all, he's the size of a mountain,
Yep.
Bars loaded.
huge
Eva
hands,
Buxbaum,
and just
Denmark.
watching him do that conventional pull was just amazing. Here comes Eva Buxbaum. She's a very well-liked lifter, but even by the lifters of other nations. Just always happy.
Lift is due.
It's like off center. Just the one that's on the floor. Yeah. It's like off center.
You were saying that yeah, because I was looking at that just for the people at home.
Bars loaded.
I don't know if you heard Adam saying it. It looked like the one camera on the floor. Is that the one you were talking
Yes,
about?
yes, yes.
It made Eva look like she was sideways. I was like, boy, that's a little awkward for her. Normally she looks so much more symmetrical.
Yeah.
Level 3 times her body weight. Julio. Sousa.
187.5 opener. This is a pretty big opener.
Mhm.
Wow. For a 57 kilo lifter, that is a really
And
big
look,
deadlift.
look at her arms right there too.
Yeah.
And that'll tell you why. She is built like a deadlift.
Sousa.
That's actually, I think, very near the top of all the openers. That's the third largest opener or fourth largest opener in the pack here.
Right. So we'll watch for her, even though she's in the first group, we'll watch for her to try to medal in the deadlift. Because obviously,
Yeah.
coming out of the first group, you're usually not going to have medals coming out of the first group. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It happened in Puerto Rico in 2012. So we had, I believe, it was the 120s jumped up, out of Group A, Group 1, and won the gold medal.
Right.
It can happen. Usually it only happens when somebody's nominated total, for whatever reason, forces them into the
Right.
Group 1.
Second attempt, 135. Slow, little grind at the top. But
There you go.
Nonetheless, very good.
Yeah, of the three lifts, deadlift is the one that you can't make a lot of adjustments.
Patel.
Yeah.
You can make some if that opener looks really hard and is a grind. It's not like a grinding first attempt squat, especially in equipment. Sometimes more weight on your back makes you able to squat it easier. My seconds and thirds were always better than my openers. And the same thing on a bench press. Deadlift, not so much, because there's no concentric to it.
No, very solid
There's
second.
no loading to it. And the gear doesn't help as much as it does
Right.
in the other two lifts. You don't get the percentage
Right
increase.
down the bar, Nikki. Right
So
down the bar.
I'm actually going to confess I've gotten 70 kilos out of a deadlift suit,
Are you serious?
pulling conventional.
Right
Really?
down the bar.
I pulled. This is really odd, and Pete told me that I was this is like the largest he's ever heard of.
That's ridiculous. At 70 kilos, guys, for you at home, it's just amazing. It's ridiculous.
So I
I'm
pulled.
out,
I pulled. I mean, I'm by no means an outstanding lifter, but I pulled 455 raw, like a grinder, coming back off an injury, and recently pulled 600 in training, and so in a suit. So
600 is a great deadlift. What weight class are you in?
93 right now.
Okay.
I'm actually cutting down to 83 to do my first equip competition in December coming up here.
Wow. Which one?
At the Philadelphia Love Meet.
Oh, you are coming to that meet. All right. Coming to Philly for some love. Where are you living?
I'm out of Washington, D.C. right now.
That's what I thought. That Love Meet should be good.
I'm looking forward to it. It's I've been training a long time for
Loaded
it.
off to Sandra Wild in Netherlands, 160 kilos. Bars loaded.
Sarah Wilderman. That looked like a really solid second attempt at 160.
Right, and here's Sandra right now. And
Sandra, I'm getting my name.
That's
mixed
okay.
up.
but if you look at the bars up there, it tells you a lot of things. If you look, it'll tell you where they are now. If they make this lift, where it moves them, it gives their best squat, their best bench, and it'll show you all 3 deadlift attempts now on there. So you can see an awful lot when that comes up. That banner, you can take a look at it. It's very well done.
Oh, she just settles that bar down.
There you go.
It almost looked like when she put it down, she was having to fight to get into position to put it down, like without dropping it.
Yep.
It's interesting what this suit does to the deadlift in general. I mean, because typically a lot of lifters, that's why I guess when I said I get 70 kilos out of a deadlift suit pulling conventional, it's kind of strange. Most lifters get, 20 or 30 at the most?
Yeah, I mean, some guys, are you talking kilos or pounds?
Kilos.
Yeah, at the most 20 kilos. Yeah, I never got a heck of a lot out of a deadlift suit. Keena is tall, much taller than the other lifters in this weight class. And that, I mean, sometimes you will see some very tall lifters who are very lean, who are also just amazing lifters.
Yep. Really solid. 165 solid second attempt.
That's good. Good lifter.
Yuki Terada, Japan.
I mean, we've already seen some great performances this week, and we've only been here a day and a half so far.
Next weight is the same, according to Nicky.
Oh yeah, we've seen some ridiculous things. We've seen some absolutely ridiculous performances. I mean, Wei Ling Chin's world record squat was just amazing yesterday.
Oh, she was amazing. Fedosenko as always was amazing.
Fedosenko is always he's always a crowd pleaser for sure.
14 times body weight. Come on, give me a break. Yeah. So what'd you do today? 5 times body weight squat, 5 times body weight deadlift, 4 times body weight bench. I didn't really,
That looked like a solid. She had made a 7 kilo jump from her first to her second. Just came back and nailed that. Came out and nailed that one.
Bars loaded. Irani Barbosa, Brazil. 3 reds.
Irani Barbosa, Brazil. So she was having some cramp issue. It looked like she was cramping potentially on her leg, and we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, it's interesting because in terms of
oh no, she's got something absolutely wrong with her leg. It's not a cramp.
No, that is not a cramp. Not the way she was hopping off of there. There's definitely SI joint pop, something. She's having issues down that leg. It's more than cramping. You're exactly right. It's funny the way it's organized. You go squat, bench, and deadlift. Squat beats up your shoulders, which makes it harder to bench.
Yep.
And then benching beats up your low back, which makes it harder to deadlift.
Yep. If you're arching a lot and you're pressing through the lumbar, through the posterior chain.
Come on now, Denmark.
Here comes Eva. She was good on her opener at 167.5. Let's see what she does. She is very intense here.
She has got really long arms like a deadlifter.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice. So the red light not quite locked out.
And again, that's a 2-to-1. I don't have a problem with that being a 2-to-1 lift.
Yeah,
It's just
she's leaning really hard to that right side.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have thrown a red on that.
Yep.
197.5 on the bar.
All right, so shoes up now, 187.5
And this
on our
what's
opener.
What's the world record for this?
197.
So there is no world record. There is
That's world record
the
standard.
world standard is 210.
So it's not even. Yeah,
Not. I mean, it's conceivable.
Well, I think it might happen. There's a shot.
Yeah.
There's a shot in Group 2.
Oh, absolutely. Not today,
She'll be back. Give her a
unfortunately.
round of applause.
So anyway, talking about the world record standard, to explain that, when we changed weight classes, we retired the old weight classes.
Yep.
So what they used is they used percentages, they used formulas to figure out what the new world records are going to be, because otherwise, if you didn't have a standard set up to meet, then every single attempt is a world record attempt in theory.
Right,
That
right.
makes for some ridiculous meets.
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
world record.
Like
All right.
everybody's gonna say they had the world record for a certain amount of time.
So they
It's like,
set
whatever.
So they set the standard. All you have to do is match it. Normally, with a world record, you have to break it by a half kilo, 1.1 pounds. But with the standard, you just have to match it. We had an interesting thing last year. One of the Japanese lifters took the standard and went up by a half a kilo and missed it. And I went to him afterward.
No.
I went to him afterwards and said, you realize all you had to do was match it. And he said, that's exactly what he did. He go, oh, no. I said to him earlier in the week, I said, you're not going to do that again, are you? He goes, no.
140. There, she's gonna fight.
That's not going.
It-
That's not going.
She's starting to hitch a little bit, so you know it's not happening.
You know, and that's an example there where if I'm a chief referee and I try not to take over the meet, like I said before, that you're supposed to be there, I would just tell that lifter to down. I would give him the down command on that.
Right.
It wasn't. She's not going to go on that. I'll let her pull, but I also don't want to see somebody get hurt. All right. So Patel, 10 kilo jump now, 5 kilo jump.
Yep. No.
Call it. Give her a round of applause.
Now her, I do not know how they passed her suit. Look at how long the tails are on her on her suit. Up top, they're only
Interesting.
supposed to be 3 centimeters.
Is that the limit?
Those look like they're 6.
Well, you know, how did they get equipment into India at this point? So, do they have to import? You know.
Well, but that should be either sewn underneath or those
Sure.
should be shorter. Yeah, it's
It-
just.
This is you know, with more countries coming into the sport, especially with equipped powerlifting, that really opens the door for people to try and innovate and create competition to meet a demand. If this sport grows to a certain point, you could really end up having a lot of people trying to innovate like what Titan has done and what Inzer has done.
I think so. I mean, you've had Rogue saw a huge market and the level of the competition, and they started designing products specifically for IPF,
yeah,
right? Because
Yeah.
they saw that market. That's something very new
the competition
that
kind of
people
competition.
coming in. Yeah, it used to be there was Titan, Inzer, and metal, and now you look at all the advertisements that you have up there now.
Oh, 5 kilos, not quite today,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Load the bar up for
Looked like it was.
Sandra Wild.
It might have come up if. Let's see it again. Oh, she just lost it. It just slipped.
Yeah, it just slipped out of her hands.
That sucks.
So before it's saying that it's a major change in the sport, it really used to be any sponsorship dollars came from the gear manufacturers,
Yep.
came from primarily Titan and Inzer. Well, now if you look up, you can see on the banner behind there we have Reband, Eleiko, SBD, and Rogue, and that's all within the last 24 months, really the last 18 months. That's a huge increase, and it really, it gives the IPF a bit of a war chest to do some things like spend $25,000 per meet to run American. I'm saying, to do this live streaming. I mean, this stuff is not cheap. We got a huge crew here, absolutely huge crew from Spain come in, mainly made up of expat Brits who just doing a fantastic job. And just to confuse everything, we've thrown a few Americans in just to see.
Oh
if
no!
Uh-oh.
She She knows it. She knows it went up and down.
Yeah, and just better off to go.
Oh, she had it, and it just went up and down.
No.
Oh, man.
All right. Load the bar
She
up.
knew. She knew.
Yeah.
Blumenfeld, Norway.
We're on
170
thirds here.
kilos on the bar.
This is where it gets interesting.
Bars loaded.
And there you see Kina Blumenfeld. She was good at 160, then 165, now trying 170. And you know that Dietmar Wolf has a plan for her 3-4 years out for where he wants her to be.
Yeah.
He's not so much worried about where she is today as to where she'll be in a few years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she's really happy with that. Looked really good.
You know, the idea is to get Kina to the point where she's one of their scoring
Yep.
positions.
Yeah.
That's really the
So
goal.
she's really young. She's only 25.
25, right.
So
And that for this sport, guys, 25 is young. Now that we have medalists in open world competitions that are well into their 50s now. It's
Yeah.
just an amazing thing. You have somebody like a Dave Ricks or a Jan Vigera who, you know, are still not only competitive, winning championships.
it gives me hope that, because I'm 34 and I'm like thinking to myself, I could come back and maybe not. I won't ever set a world record, but I could, I could be at this meet at some point. maybe.
Well, I'm telling you, you can continue to put on to get stronger. If you have a plan and you stick with it, I've seen lifters who were average lifters. It took them years and years, but have gotten to the world-class level. There are those genetic freaks that just first day out, they're benching, 150 kilos, never been in the gym before.
Here we go. Oh, and she was having issues with her leg, and it obviously seems like it was.
She looks okay now.
It looks okay. She was maybe that is a result of how much she was straining on squat.
It's possible.
Or
Now-
not on the deadlift. I'm sorry.
Now we have 2 chiropractors here too, so it is possible she went back there and got adjusted. I mean, when there's chiro on site, if I'm having an issue, I will go get work on it.
Yeah.
Not everybody
Yeah.
does, not everybody wants to, but
Bars
I
loaded.
feel comfortable getting that, or
Yeah.
some PT even right in the middle of it.
Yuki Terada from Japan, 7.5 kilo jump. And the bar, it's not just me. The bar is off-centered because of, I guess there's some divots in the platform.
It was kind of you too. Yeah, I don't know what. It's an interesting platform. Again, I was mentioning Dietmar Wolf. He designed this platform that's got some rubber in it, but the carpet is deflecting and is getting divots in it. There's not divots
Right.
in the wood. It's
Okay.
the carpet itself that's being kind
Right.
of stretched and
Got
mashed.
it.
It's an interesting thing.
So-
We had that. If you look on the screen right, you can see it's kind of like white marks
Right.
by the plates. That's actually a little dip.
So really, I think then, if you think about it, then they need to consider using some Kevlar or some type of material that will prevent that. But
Yeah, I mean, we do. I mean, platforms are honestly better today than they were 10 years ago in
Sure.
general. But yeah, we're definitely moving towards that. USAW has these platforms that are almost
Bars loaded.
bomb-proof. However, it takes almost a truck to move one platform. I've
Yeah.
actually helped them take them apart. Yeah, they're real heavy.
and we're up to a 185 for third attempt deadlift. Eva Buxbaum from Denmark. And
It's just not her day today.
not today.
She spent way too much energy trying to pull that through.
Well, she spent a lot of energy on her second.
Right.
And you could have
Exactly.
said 185 was probably a little ambitious.
Xian Yu Chao.
All right, here you go. 197.5, which is a big deadlift.
For a 57, this is a huge deadlift.
Yeah. Is that 434?
It's 435.
435.
Bars loaded.
And it's going to shake up guys. Really wake up, get a little bit of coffee in there or something, because there's going to be some moving around in Group 2.
Oh yeah,
We're going to see some battling.
This will be a very interesting second round. No.
No, give her a big round of applause.
Which is surprising because her opener was so good. Like,
Yep.
All right, let's go.
It's more of a strength issue, and that's where, you know what I'm saying, if something looks really bad on an open or on a deadlift, you're probably not going to come back on your second to make it look real great, unless you lose your balance or something.
It could have been a mental thing too, you know. I've never seen it where people have issues coming into, you know, hitting an opener, a solid opener, and then just mentally losing it on a second or a third. You know, not being there. Like, it could have been some of that too, maybe.
Come on, Ellie.
Here's Ellie Steele from Great Britain, 150 kilos. One of the lighter openers, but still in the second group.
Oh, yeah.
That looked solid.
Oh, that's tea and crumpets for everyone. I like scones. All right. Maybe some fish and chips.
Should we break it to... Scones aren't really English. Should we?
Yeah, that's not. It's all good. I'm sure everybody can hear Gino in the background there.
Oh yeah, Gino means well. He really is. Yeah, he's amazing. Travels all over the world. When he goes overseas, sometimes he'll stay overseas for 4 or 5 weeks and do a number of meets in other countries. There you go.
Very nice lift. Yeah, I actually was sitting and chatting with Gino this morning about kind of his background and how he got into this. And it's kind of like, you know, the moral of the story for him, it seems, is that you never know where you're going to end up.
No, you really don't. And it was interesting with Gino because, like, I've known Gino for close to 15 years, and so he was kind of persona non grata. People thought he was a little too wild for the sport, and so Robert Keller, who was Secretary General of the IPF, brought him back in. We were doing meets, local meets, finally got him to do national meets, and we finally got him at the Arnold. And then we did a couple of international meets in the U.S. with him, and now the whole IPF has kind of adopted him.
Yeah, absolutely. And that looked like a very solid opener for Carla Shiva.
Yep. And even Gino has upscaled his game. I mean, I don't know if you see it when they put the camera on him. He's wearing a blazer, an IPF tie, an IPF shirt.
Almost looks professional.
He looks great. He looks great.
Her occupation, she's an athlete.
So, and he is in this room from morning till night. And tomorrow, I believe tomorrow we have 3 sessions. He is going to be here from twinkle to twinkle because those lights, you know, that it's going to be dark when he gets here and dark when he leaves.
And here we go, Sri from Indonesia. She's a fighter. This looked
very nice. What did the
hips
referee say?
open all the way. I'm not sure. No, she got it.
And I would like to say that I had said that Scott Dobbins had squatted 410. Steve Mann, world champion, told me 402. Looks like we're both wrong. Natalie Hansen says 405. So let's just say Scott Dobbins is smart and strong. Anything else, we will reserve judgment.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah. That solid opener from Kenia Monserrati.
Good.
It's really good. Ecuador's team is getting better over time. They're bringing in more people. And a lot of times what you see with the countries is they'll bring in a couple of people who are okay. They'll get stronger and stronger. Ecuador did this. Venezuela did this. And then they start building a team around those 2 or 3 core athletes.
Yeah.
And they start attracting and they start growing their federations. Then they're able to be more competitive the way Ecuador is. First, Ecuador was not competitive at all. Then they became competitive in North America.
Right.
And then, to the point where the U.S. has got to worry about beating Ecuador in North America and Canada. And now Ecuador is, challenges in
Just
at the
rips that
international
off-
level.
Rips that off the floor. And we're into like the big openers here. We're over 400 pounds as openers for all these 57s. Now, Rowena Lopez opening at 403, 182 and a half kilos for you non-kilo. For those of you without calculators, that's 403. So here we go.
Coached by Open IPF World Champion Tony Cardella. Come on, Ro.
There we go. Very solid.
No, I wouldn't. I would suspect, I don't know necessarily, but that Rowena is getting to that point in a career where she might take a break for a little bit. I don't know if she's going to or not. It's getting to that point in life.
Yeah. No, life does that.
Where sometimes people move away for a couple of years and then come back.
Hui Chun Lu from Chinese Taipei, 195 on the bar. This is tied for the biggest opener. And this is a really massive opener. This is a massive deadlift for 57.
I believe she has won gold in the deadlift last 2 years, I think, or been close. I know she's certainly medaled in the deadlift.
It's really easy. Yeah, that was really easy.
Let's see if we can get a third light there. What do we got? There we go.
Good, 2-1.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I couldn't. Let's see the replay and see. Now she is skewed to that one side.
Yep.
No, that is a lockdown lift. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so one red on that.
Yeah, and again, one red's fine. What I always advise lifters, either as a referee or a coach, if you get one red, if you're interested in finding out what it is, find out. But usually I just walk away and go, especially in a meet. Yep. Don't even let your coach worry about that. You just go back, take your good result, sit down, let them put in your next attempt.
Yep.
The coach is there for a reason. If the coach isn't there for a reason, then get him out.
Yep.
You need something else.
That looked really solid. 195.
Venezuela.
Solid opener for Ruiz.
Yeah.
Venezuela.
Yeah, it looks real good on that. Some big, that's big deadlifting, man. I'll tell you what. All right, back to the top for Ellie Steele. She's an excitable young girl.
She's got a personal best of 172.5. And she's coming in at 160. So
right, and this will give her a PR total. Personal best
PR total.
Yeah, so that's huge right there. That's absolutely monstrous. To get PR total on your second at World Championship says you've done your work. And there she goes. That's awesome right there. Ellie did a great job there.
So it's going to be interesting to see, knowing her personal best, 172. What is she going to put on the bar? Is she going to put what she knows she's got left in the tank here, or is she going to try and at least tie that, or what? So.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Again, she's young. She's 24, 25. So I think that's the thing where her experience at this level is very limited. That's a coach's decision right there.
Yep.
As to what they're going to do. Now, a good coach will probably say, "What do you want to do? Here's our choices."
Looking at that, I don't know that she's got another 12 and a half.
No, I mean 12 and a half is a huge jump.
Here's Vilma. That looked really, really solid, like an opener.
Yeah, she's good. But see, now this is why you see where the problem becomes with her is just, the deadlift looks easy, and you kind of wonder, like, why is she not stronger in it? Is it just something? Is it hands? Is it just whatever it is? Because she's solid and she's very strong in the other two lifts, and it looks like she should be able to do more. All right, we've got Victoria up now. Now again, pay attention. She lost. She went for 223 and only wound up with 207.5 in the squat. So let's see if that affects her as the competition moves on.
Oh,
wow!
That's not good.
That upsets based on nominated totals. That really messes things up here a little bit for them.
Yeah, that hurts. And that, oh man, and she was one of the picks to really like get on the podium here.
Yes, she was.
She
was.
So we're looking back at the squat, right? She had made a strategic call to try and hit 223 on her squat, right? And
missed 220 and then went for that 223, right?
Yeah, and she's giving up a medal position here. Looking at this, the way this is playing out.
Well, and again that. So all right, so she missed that second. The call on that third squat is. And then missing it makes you change things in your deadlift. Doesn't make you change your bench as much, I don't think. You can't really push it, so guys will try to get that on there. She may be trying to push that to get back in contention.
Wow. Really solid. Just a strong, steady grind there. That looks
good.
But that 12.5 kilos that she missed that 220, that hurts.
Oh yeah,
that hurts tremendously.
That's pretty devastating. And we're talking about fighting for places to go to the World Games here, so she potentially loses out on a World Games spot because of that.
Absolutely, and the World Games is one of the most amazing events in powerlifting. It's once every 4 years. It's on the level of the Olympics. It's in Poland this year, and it's just the competition's amazing.
Very solid 190.
Light Chinese Taipei.
So let's see, we got here a good lift, which we figured anyway. Just, to kind of, talking about World Games slot up for grabs. Normally what happens is the way it's contested is by formula.
Yep.
They will take, for instance, in the men, there's 4 weight classes in there as opposed to the normal 8. They'll take 2 weight classes, combine them, take the 5 best from each weight class and have them compete by wilks.
Okay.
So you've got the 10 best guys in 2 weight classes competing for formula, and a lot of times you'll wind up with dueling world records.
Wow.
One guy will hit it, and another guy will try it, and another guy will try it, and it's just really intense, right? And your bossy boss, one of your bosses, won the World Games and had a very very impressive. Not only won his class, but was best lifter, I believe, in the entire tournament. So.
And Anna Ryskova came out and just absolutely stroked that 192. Looked really good. Yeah, Mike talks very fondly of his time at the World Games. As it being being treated like a celebrity.
Yeah, he was that Shaoshan, China? Was that where? Taipei?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chinese,
Chinese Taipei.
Yeah. And go Rowena Lopez, 39-year-old lifter.
And she is one of my favorite people. She is just I don't know. There she goes.
Really
great.
solid 192.
She is having a great meet. And it's through hard work. There were some lifters that are stubborn. She's had problems with both her bench and her squat at times. Wasn't hitting depth. Would lean forward when she squatted, causing her to cut them high.
Yeah.
And she was upright. Her 3 squats, even though she only made 2 of them, the 3 squats all look great. It feels good to be able to make that change and adapt and come back and see that there. So.
Yep.
All right, let's see what Wu's going at 202.5 now.
So she's making the pull to try and get into first position here to get onto the World Games team. Get onto the.
And this, she's looking for World Games, but she's also looking for gold. She's always hunting for gold in deadlift.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But again, do you hunt for gold in deadlift, or if you know that a certain pull will get you World Games as opposed to gold, what do? I go World Games.
Oh yeah.
Personally.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah. Let's see how.
Oh no! That opens the door for Vilma to potentially come in and
All right, here we go.
change her. Well, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the positions now. So that changes some things. Rowena is actually.
Second attempt, Venezuela, 450.
I can't see what the.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't see the. I can't see the.
But if you look here, all right. So
okay.
right now,
What
you can see them.
If we look at the totals, though, so
Yeah, that's all you
About
can
10 kilos.
somebody
About
else,
10 kilos shy of 4 times her body weight.
Vilma could actually jump into that third position
do. All right,
potentially.
now let's see if there's any changes here moving around. Let's see after there's deadlift, and we'll get a better idea. I mean, Shri is pretty much in control right now.
And that looks really, really good. She will probably take a stab at the deadlift world record
Yeah, I wouldn't.
at
say
the
why
world
not.
standard. So she should jump to 210 and try and get it.
And try to exactly.
And we're on our final round of attempts
All right, now,
for the
Ellie, let's
women's
rock and roll.
57 kilo weight class here at the 2016 IPF Open World Championships here in Orlando, Florida.
All right.
67.5.
So going in the thirds here, Hani Shri
Steele.
she's in first place right now.
She's gonna win.
She's at 541 now. No one really is in position to touch her much. She's 8 kilos, 8.5 kilos in first place.
Yes.
So
right now, nobody's making any big moves that would take 7.5 kilos more for.
right,
Yeah, it's going to be a.
right, and by the advantage of Shri hitting the world record in the bench at 146. She forces everybody else to pull a little bit more. That's why I'm saying she's 8.5 kilos ahead instead of 7.5 kilos.
Yep.
Right. So that forces somebody else to go 10 kilos to make that up. It's a rough thing, unless somebody's able to chip the deadlift world record to meet her. But generally, you don't see that. That's rare to see.
So
Change area.
Vilma here is making a run to try and get into the podium.
Vilma.
Except that's not Vilma.
Hello.
That's not Vilma.
This isn't.
Vilma.
We're having a bit of a mix-up here.
I mean, I just saw it. I looked up. I'm like, that's not Vilma.
It's supposed people are submitting changes right now.
Yeah.
And you're allowed 2 changes for your third deadlift, right? If I'm not mistaken.
2 changes, correct.
The
The only rule about that is once your position has been passed, you cannot change your deadlift. So in other words, you can't drop down, or if you put in 200 but you're not eligible to take 200, you have to go 202 and a half.
Right.
Right. If your lot number if it's already past you. So it's sometimes people put them in late or put in the wrong numbers. It's really a shame.
Oh.
All right. So Vilma had a good day. Anyway.
She did. She had a great day. 222.5 squat. You know, she missed her third squat. And,
190 kilos on the bar for her.
so it looks to be like she is not going to be in contention to go to row claw. Victoria Karlasheva from Russia.
Oh, I have. All right, let's see. We'll wait. After Karlasheva lifts 190, she really missed that.
Oh,
that 87 and a half.
This was big. She's trying to. Oh wow.
That is great. That is great. And she's a technician too.
That's a gutsy call that she made not to retake. That mixes some things up again. She got onto she's potentially going to get onto the podium with that. It depends on what Hui Chun Wu from Chinese Taipei does.
Did Shri drop,
No,
or was she always at 192?
she dropped down. Yeah, she did. She dropped down. She had projected 546.
Okay, all right. So she was 195 then.
So she dropped down because nobody's going to touch her.
Right.
And she's just trying to get it. She's just trying to pad her total now.
So I've got a news update from Spring, Texas.
Oh,
Former world champion Christy Cardella, wife of former world champion Tony Cardella, tells me that Rowena is getting married in January, so that I was correct. And
wow.
She is going to take. I believe she is going to take a
Well,
little
congratulations
bit of
to
or at least within the next couple of years, because that's congratulations.
yeah,
and that's a great thing.
congratulations. That's awesome.
All right, so this 2.5. She put it in, and you're like, well, why did she take a 2.5 kilo jump?
This is a token 2.5.
Because she knows that buries her and doesn't let anybody else,
Yeah.
try to jump up.
Yeah, no one's going to touch this. I would be very shocked.
I mean, in theory, Rizkova could jump up and try to do it, but
Why? At this point?
no, just
because?
Just because.
That looked good.
There you go.
And and more than likely, that is your 57 women's kilo women's champion there. With the overall.
See me, I'm crazy. She's in silver position right now, right? Is she locked? She's solidly in silver? Yeah, she's solidly in silver.
Yeah.
Man, there's a coaching theorem that some guys that will tell you, or young ladies will tell you when they're coaching. It's not huge for her to go for the win.
Right.
And just load it up and see if somebody can pull it.
So yeah, she's only doing 2.5 kilos. She's just gonna lock herself in here. There's some blood on her knee there. I just noticed that.
Yeah, and that needs to be taken care of by the technical control work to make sure that no one's going out like that.
And that looked good, and that solidifies her spot.
Puts her in the silver medal position.
Well, what we saw yesterday, Hassan El Baghetti was in third.
Yep.
Charles Okpoko was in second. And I would have taken a shot to go for the silver. Instead, they tried to defend against coming in fourth, loaded something, missed it, and that miss put him in the fourth. So it's a rough. I mean, he's a great look. He's a great lifter. He's one of the best deadlifters in the history of the organization.
Yeah.
So you can't fault him, but
sure. Kenia Monserrati, 195. It's like a great lift.
There you go. All right, here comes our new wifey to be, Rowena Lopez, USA.
Rowena Lopez, 197.5, 435.4 pounds. United States of America, the bar's loaded.
She has had a great day for her. Really has.
Yep, and she's going to finish in the top 5, depending on what happens here. And she's got it.
Let's see what the referees say. I mean, I like the lift.
I think it looked good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, it's 2-1, and I can't argue with a 2-1 on that. I will not argue with a 2-1.
All right, here we go. She is pulling for
202.5.
All right, so Wu is going to take that 202.5. And, interestingly enough, that doesn't even put her in the gold medal for the
she's
deadlift.
Trying to jump into that podium.
Yeah, this just moves her first, second, so that's what she's doing. So again, what Adam's saying is, we were talking before, the idea is to get onto the podium first and not worry about medals in the individual. So that's what she's doing here. It may also make her, put her in to be an alternate for the World Games. There's a lot of things at play here. I don't know if there's a wild card slot coming from this meet or how they're doing it, but getting onto the medal stand certainly
Oh, that's huge.
makes it a lot easier for her into the World Games.
Oh, she knew she was going to pick it up and get it. Oh, did you see on the left
Yeah,
side? It looked like it was slipping a little
I
bit.
saw.
All right, it started to slip out of her hands. Give her a big round of applause.
She seemed like confident and happy that it was coming up, and then all of a sudden it just not locked out all the way and
Yeah.
started slipping.
No kidding.
That's-
No kidding, brother.
This is so she's going 2.5 kilos over the world standard here. This doesn't do anything for her as far as overall, but she's going to lock in this world record deadlift with this. And this is a huge deadlift. This is absolutely massive. This is 400, almost 470 pounds for a 57 kilo woman. That is something else.
Oh yeah. This is amazing. So there's a world record standard from when we
Here we go.
came up with the new weight classes. Now 212.5. All she has to do is match it. This is huge.
Here we go. And everybody's on their feet in here.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Let's go, Venezuela!
Let's see her get this. Come on. Oh.
All
right, so we finish up there.
Don't go away.
Yeah.
We're going to give out the medals in 2 minutes.
And that was a really valiant effort. And I think, and with a little more work, she could probably get that, no problem. But
Definitely.
Anyway.
Definitely.
Well, folks, that rounds up the 57 women at the 37th Women's and 46 Men's IPF Open World Championships down here in Orlando, Florida. As always, a big shout out to our sponsors, bodybuilding.com, Titan, Powerlifting, Titan Support Systems, SSP Nutrition, 949 Media, Inzer, Reband, and Eleco, SBD, Rogue. All those sponsors are supporting this organization and deserve your support as well. So please go out and visit their websites and partake in their products. That about wraps it up. We will be we'll be broadcasting a show of the medals, and then we'll be back this afternoon for the men's 74 kilo weight class. This is Adam Palmer, and I've got Elliot Feldman with me, and we are signing off here.
Everybody give me a big round of applause. That's our marshal, the president of Luxembourg Powerlifting, Alain. Come on, escort our ladies out. Everybody receives a participation medal because everyone that came here is already a champion. That's why they came to the World Championship. Give them one round of applause as each one of them gets their participation medal. Thank you, Kelly Fazy.
This in your bin? Thank you.
All right. Here we go with our first category. Ladies and gentlemen, the 57 kilo weight class. The bronze in the squat. She hails from Ecuador, the bronze medal, Kenya Monsonan.
Take a nice picture of Ellie Steele. She's a great runner.
Is she going to get a medal?
I don't think so. But just while she's standing there.
Silver medal from Russia, Victoria Karlishevna. And the gold medal hailing from Ecuador, a rounding ovation for Vilma Vargas Ochoa. Assisting with the medals presentation is Alexandra Verikina from Belarus. Photos, please. Alexandra Verikina, Belarus. Thank you, Vilma. Thank you, ladies. Next category. Next category, Sasha. Bench press. Next category, bench press. Ladies and gentlemen, the bronze medal. She hails from Great Britain. A rounding ovation for Ellie Steele. Who's got it? Come on now, fellas. Take the medal. Silver medal, ladies and gentlemen, hailing from the United States of America. Big round of applause for Rowena Lopez. And ladies and gentlemen, our gold medal winner, she hails from Indonesia. A big round of applause for Hartani Sri. Onyx Rivera, come to the scores table. Onyx Rivera. Photos. Thank you, ladies. You may step back now. Moving on to the deadlift. Now, Ladies and gentlemen, in the bronze medal position here from Ecuador, Kenya Maserati. Silver medal, United States of America. Come on back, Rowena Lopez. And the gold medal winner, hailing from Venezuela, a rounding ovation for Edmar Ruiz. All right, thank you, ladies. You may step back now. Let's move to the total category. Ladies and gentlemen, a bronze medal winner hailing from Russia. Please put your hands together now for Victoria Karlisheva. And our silver medalist, also hailing from Russia, Anna Ryskova. And the gold medal winner, ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Indonesia, give me a rounding ovation for Arkady Sri. Everyone, please rise for the Indonesian national anthem. One more round of applause for these fine young ladies. Ladies, photo? Photo? Go ahead, ladies. All right, thank you, ladies. You may step back now. Ladies. Step back. You get the photos later. We get the photos later. We get the photos later. All right, and we're going to get some exiting music. Alain Haman will escort our athletes around the platform. And ladies and gentlemen, give all of our athletes a big round of applause. Come on, keep clapping for them. Just like Denmark.